an effective and strong opposition is better than the post of a deputy president any day, any day.
So it is high time for the young people of Kenya to have their leaders. Why not? We can have a young president, young deputy president, young MPs, young senators, MCAs, you name it.
Gen Zs are 18.3 million, millennials are 12.1 million. So if they decide to vote as a bloc, they can easily have their own presidential candidate.
In Eldoret town, things were boiling nicely. Take a look at this video of these comrades who decided to inject, and they injected without fear of contradiction. Just listen to this.
Thank you. I'm clarifying something. It was a comment, so it's like 1 minute, okay? Thank you. Number one, you see these comrades are very angry, and they told you very early in the morning. So these people, they need facilitation and refreshments such that they get energy to inject and reject what they don't deserve. The second thing is leadership. You see, student leadership in UDA, they are taking puppets and then they brand them the leadership of comrades from all campuses only to users. We will not allow that one. Then on the other thing, you've had several comrades who are here are from Moi University. And Moi University, we have not learned for now like 2 months. And these people, I want them to use the same speed they use in impeaching the deputy president Rigathi Gachagua to solve the issues of Moi University. We will not allow that one. We will not allow that one. Then on the last thing, the new funding model, Mr. Professor. You say you are in the presidential advisory team. The president on the new funding model, can you tell these comrades that a student studying education who is going to earn 35 to 40,000 is going to have a whooping loan of up to $500,000, earning 30,000 and a loan of $500,000? Are you going to pay the fees? Are you even going to survive? Are you going to build a home for your family? Are you going to change your life? Bwana, it is time to reject this thing. We are not comfortable.
Amazing. As you can see, this guy decided to inject. And let me tell you guys, like, it doesn't matter which politicians or political party you support. If you see wrong, don't fear to inject. When you see wrong, say it is wrong. It's as simple as that.
You see, student leadership in UDA, they are taking puppets and then they brand them the leadership of comrades from all campuses only to users. We will not allow that one.
As you all know, President William Ruto has endorsed and wants Kithure Kindiki to become the next deputy president after impeaching Rigathi Gachagua. But the Gen Zs, millennials, and all Kenyans, Generation Zote, Gen Zote, people are not agreeing with the president. Nobody wants Kithure Kindiki to become the next deputy president. Just listen to what this Gen Z had to say about this.
Tumeumia tena zaidi kwa sababu wameappoint Kithure Kindiki ambaye ni alikuwa CS of Interior Security, supervise vijana wakiabductiwa, wengine wakiuriwa, na the president hana guts za kumappoint kama the next deputy president of Kenya. Hatujafurahia, though we respect his decision kama kiongozi wa nchi. Sisi kama vijana wa Nakuru hatujafurahia na vijana wa nchi. In fact, the president sasa amedhihirisha kwamba he is the one-term president.
As you all know, Kithure Kindiki was in charge when Gen Zs and millennials and Kenyans were being abducted and being killed. So why should he become the deputy president?
Kithure Kindiki ambaye ni alikuwa CS of Interior Security, supervise vijana wakiabductiwa, wengine wakiuriwa, na the president hana guts za kumappoint kama the next deputy president of Kenya.
I am shook. So I've just learned people developed an app overnight. Imagine. App ya, do you know to do what? To give updates. Kwenye makarao wako, kwenye tiagas ziko, kwenye watu nalipuliwa zaidi. Kama ukitoki, like unaingia hapo, unaongea na wase, unawaambia the safe areas, the safe place, kwenye mtapitia. Kama saizi, the app has said tusipitie kwa lami. Ndio lami, tunapitia huku ndani. This is inside the Naivas, 5-8. The unity is crazy. Like the creativity pia. Mulifikiria kutengeneza app and it's working. Oh, wow. This is so nice. This is so nice. This is a revolution, guys. A revolution aided by technology. I'm so happy to be a Gen Z.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
We are coming for you.
From Justin Muturi abduction scandal
I would just say bring it on,
to Gen Z body recovered. Is he serious?
Kenyans are such an indisciplined lot.
Family fights for father's release.
Mimi siendi. Kitu nasema sirudi Nairobi kama sijapata haki yangu. Kama nitakaa 1 wiki kwa hii gari na wala siendi.
We are coming for you.
Allah, how are you? Welcome back to ShowNewTrend. I'm your host for today and my name is Elvis Derry. Abductions is still happening in Kenya. It's still taking place in Kenya without shame. Without shame, even from the international audience. And Wajakoya, he has come out and said that anytime you see someone being abducted, Kenyans, take matters into your own hands. That's not what he had to say.
Shikeni hawa watu. Either wapeleke polisi, wakiwa na bunduki, apply force. Restrain them. Washikwe, wapelekwe, na kama anataka kuleta nuks, wachapwe. That's the only way out, because tuko na serikali ambayo inatakana kulinda watu. Hapa watu wanasema ati enda waandike statement kwa polisi, kama umeona vile wameambia Muturi hapa ati kama alikuwa na hiyo maneno aandike statement kwa polisi. Unaenda kuandika statement, hawa wameshika mtoto wako, hataki kujitambulisha, unaenda kama kuwachezea muziki ile kuchezea mbuzi gitaa. Unajua mbuzi ni burukenge. Come on, if it's me, deal with the situation the way it comes as a soldier. Because mahali tumefika, mbona hatujakuwa hapa siku zingine? Wakati wa Moi tulikuwa na hiyo, dunia ikasaidia because of the Cold War. Saa hizi tuko na Rais Ruto, watu wananyongwa, watoto watu wanapigwa, wanashikwa, wanatekwa nyara. Serikali ni yake, sio ya mtu mwingine.
I'm still wondering, like many other people out there who are still wondering, where are the missing abductees? Where are those men and women who have been abducted? Those Gen Zs who have been abducted, who are still missing till date? Where are they and how are they surviving? Bernard Kavuli, who was abducted, later on released, he came out and said that he saw approximately 32 people being held in a single room.
For those who do not understand Kikamba, what Kavuli Bernard was saying in the interview that he had during his homecoming party at home in Ukambani was, he was taken to the first place, he stayed. For 5 days, he was only given water twice. Very dark room. He was beaten twice a day. Clothless, naked. Then they were taken to another place inside the forest. And there he says he saw Muteti, and there were many young people. He estimates that there could have been 32 of them who were held there captives in the middle of a forest. And they also
a man by the name of Mr. Hilary Gichuki, who was allegedly wrongfully arrested and remanded at Kirale prisons for a whole year, Kenyans, for a whole year without being presented to court. His family, the Mziza family, they went on to campaign for their father's release. And I'm just wondering, is it possible under the Kenyan laws to arrest somebody and imprison them for a whole year without trial, without being presented to court? Is this not illegal? Is this not holding somebody hostage? Just take a look.
Pesa 1400 ikawa nikazunguzwa hivyo tena ni Oshioro akiwa huku. Then unaweza wekea mtu pesa aje? Na ito jina. Unasikia venye anasema? Huyo ndio nataka Ajeri. Inatoa Kevin. Tumeitumia saa hii. Inatoa Kevin. Huyo Ajeri mimi ndio nataka. Ndio nikukilipa pesa kama ni ukweli. Tujue Ajeri na Hilary walikuwa na uhusiano gani?
Na mbona huyu mama hakuendea Angeline mwenye alimwekea pesa?
Anasema hakuenda. Ndio hapo ndio nafikia. Na hapo ndio nilitisiwa na polisi. Nilikuja anikafanyiwa hivi na polisi mwenye alimleta alinifanyia hivi.
Lazima ifike.
Hata niulize statement yangu. Sina haki. Hapana. Hiyo amenichokeza ama
mwaka mzima
mpaka hapa.
Mmoja tu.
Niende nikajikalise.
Mmoja tu angoje aujue na probation ndio apewe nini?
Mimi siedi. Kitu nasema sirudi Nairobi kama sijapata haki yangu. Kama nitakaa 1 wiki kwa hii gari na wala siendi. Naendelea zistahili. Siendi. Tunaenda huko. Hata mkitunyima nini ya kukaa, tuendi. Mimi wala siwezi enda. Nikakae wapi na watoto wangu? Nikakae wapi?
Mwaka mzima kila
kitu ya kukula. Saa zingine unasikia kumpe ati mtoto anaisija. Mimi kazi iliza nikitafutia huyu alikuwa juzi, huyu ni mzaa alizaa juzi. Mtoto atafikisha miezi 2 na niko na mtoto mwingine. Hiyo nayo hapana. Then nilisimama kwa koti nikasitizia bwana yangu hiyo statement bwana ilitolewa juzi. Alikuja kunifanyia hivi ati hata niitisie bwana yangu statement. Kwa nini? Anani uchungu mami. Atukue pia huyu aweke hapo.
The young people of Kenya, the Gen Zs, have been very vocal and holding the government accountable. But it clearly seems like the government has tried abductions and even worse, killing to shut down the young people, to shut down the Gen Zs, but it has all failed miserably. Force will not work on the young people. What we want is accountability, good governance, and a better future for this country. Listen to what Kevin Ayodi had to say.
But I want to tell the government one thing. They have tried abductions, they have tried all this killing of the young people. Has anything changed? No, nothing has changed. Okay. So what are we saying? We are saying that the force does not work with these young people. Can we try to figure out something that we can use to make these young people behave? Right now we are seeing when you attack them, the more they become disobedient. Okay. They start coming up with cartoons and everything that upsets you. So what does that show you? Let's come up with an alternative way to see how we can calm down these young people. Because if this behavior continues, like she said, when the police comes maybe to arrest someone, these people will come and burn the cars and do everything. We don't want to get to that point.
It has started already.
Yes, it has already started.
People, when they say anyone trying to be arrested,
exactly,
they call it abduction.
And you know how police behave. So if such a fight starts between the police and the citizens, that's when they start shooting people to defend themselves, to defend their own. So we don't want to go to this stage whereby now the citizens decide to torture police vehicles, resisting arrest, themselves. Actually resisting legal arrest, thinking that it's abduction. Okay. So what we are saying is that let this government come up with strategies whereby they can listen to the views of Gen Zs, because they have demonstrated that when Gen Z speak something negative, they get it. That's why you see they speak the funeral. But when they are criticizing something useful, they tell you we don't want this in the finance bill, we don't want this, we don't want. They don't hear that. They don't. In fact, yes.
So Kenyans, do you think it's high time that the President of Kenya, William Ruto, should be arrested and charged for all these happenings that is taking place in this country? Listen to what Jeremiah Kayoni had to say about this.
It's been confirmed here by Muturi that the abductions were really under his command, because he's the one who made the call and the young man was released. So if your son or daughter is released and you cannot get hold of William Ruto, what does that mean to us? We are on our own. When we have the likes of Sudi, Kamket, Kimani Ichung'wa, and Farah Marin, allowing the utterances that we have heard from their mouths in the presence of William Ruto, and to the amusement of him, William Ruto, kwa sababu yeye ndio alikuwa anapiga makofi kuliko wananchi wanapotukana watu. It means that the center is not holding, and we as Kenyans must heed the call that has been made by our leader, and we must prepare to do what the South Africans are the people of South Korea have done. It is time for us to go and arrest William Samoei Ruto from State House, because we are on our own. Hakuna kitu kingine tunangojea, na hakuna Mkenya anangojea kuambiwa Ruto ni mbaya. Wanajua ni mbaya kuliko wewe mwenyewe. Hakuna jambo unaweza sema kwamba anaweza saidia sisi nalo. It is upon us to organize ourselves and get Ruto home. Us as leaders, na sisi wote wa Kenya.
Kenyans, abductions have become a national crisis, and different people are using different forums like churches to speak against abductions in Kenya. Let's take a look at this.
You know, when Vika was talking about abductions, because this is something that has also disturbed me a lot as a parent, as a Kenyan, as a brother. But no, I just thought about it and said, the people who are planning it and even executing it, you know, there are people who could be in our neighborhoods. There are people who live amongst us. Some of them are relatives, friends. Some even come to church on Sunday, and as they walk out, they've just abducted. I mean, that's how sad it is, causing so much pain and grief among families. You can imagine if it's your child who has been abducted. Then the people who are responsible, they throw it back to us and say, we as parents are the ones to blame, you know. Somebody causes it, then they are blaming you. Yet we know that the same people who are saying that our children are indisciplined are the ones who are indisciplined. They're the ones who are stealing, causing so much mayhem in the country. So even as we continue praying, let's pray for this dark, evil spirit in them to be exorcised.
Even a man from Kisumu had a very strong message to the President of Kenya about what is currently taking place in this country. Just listen to what he had to say.
President Ruto, uwache kukua peti. We have so many things unafaa udeal nazo. Wachana na vitu vyenye MCA ndiye anafaa fuatilie kijijini. You are bigger than this thing. Show your wisdom kulingana na uwezo uliopatiwa na Mwenyezi Mungu wa kukaa mahali ulipo. Kulingana na mimi, story na abduction haifai. Iwapo kuna makosa mtu amefanya, kuna protocol inafaa ifuatiliwe ili haki ipatikane. Dan kushika mtu, uende umtese, umuue, wazazi wamemsomesha. Sasa mtoto wa miaka 20, Ruto ako na miaka 60. Tofauti yenu ni gani kama mnafanya kitu inafanana? Kulingana na mimi, you are a parent, you are a leader, and you are a president. Fanya vitu kulingana na umri wako na hekima yako.
Even some politicians are not safe from abduction. Justin Muturi, who is the Public Service Cabinet Secretary, he went to Kilimani police station to record a statement regarding the abduction of his son during the anti-government protest in June 2024.
So Nuruddin Haji calls in Muturi to make a statement about his son, and Muturi ends up exposing all of them. Kwani, I think these guys are possessed. At this point, they're making such blunders, such childish blunders, kindergarten blunders. The blunders you make in training school and you get like a D or an F or an E minus. Because what the hell, now we know they're behind the abductions. And I'm telling you, family, the only thing Nabi's government cares about is their international reputation. And they don't realize, because of the way they behave, Nairobi is the center of the spy world. There's so many spies from all over just roaming in Nairobi. So they're not relying on PR stunts. They're getting the information qua ground. So what is the game plan?
While Justin Muturi, the Public Service Cabinet Secretary, was writing his statement at Kilimani police station, he came out and said that Nuruddin Haji was responsible for his son's abduction. Later on, Raila Amolo Odinga, the former Prime Minister of Kenya, he said that Nuruddin Haji is a huge threat to justice, rule of law, and accountability. Just listen to this.
Kenya Kwanza regime is hell-bent on proceeding to unilaterally and single-handedly reconstitute the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. This comes against the backdrop of the earlier illegal forcing out of 4 commissioners who disagreed with Mr. Wafula Chebukati over the presidential election results. A biased and partisan IEBC is being put in place. Kenyans know what such a commission has done to this country before.
After Justin Muturi wrote his statement and revealed the dirty secrets that is currently taking place in this country, some politicians were not happy. Like Member of Parliament, Aldai Member of Parliament Marian Kitan, she went on to threaten Justin Muturi, saying that she will move a censure motion against him in Parliament.
Kama mtoto alikuwa abducted, alafu akarelisiwa, kuna kitu inaitwangwa kwenda kuripoti kwa police station. Kutoka hiyo miezi 6 tangu siku hiyo aliyekuwa abducted na kurudishwa paka saa hii hujaenda kuripoti kwa police station. Unataka nani akufanyie hiyo kazi? You are the minister for public, meaning hao watu wote in short wana report kwako. Ukikuja kwa media kutuambia kwa press na wewe ndio minister ya hao watu, hiyo ni kusema nini? Si umekosa kazi yako? Umeshindwa na kazi? So bado unafanya nini kwa hiyo ofisi? Wewe ujiuzulu, kuja ongea huku nje kama raia mwema. Ushike microphone kama raia mwema ukiongelesha ukigonga hiyo serikali. Lakini huwezi gonga serikali ukiwa ndani yake. Haiwezekani. Kama huwezi heshimu serikali yenye unaifanyia kazi. Mimi kama mjumbe kazi yangu ni kitu inaitwa oversight. Ninakuambia wewe ujiuzulu, na usipojiuzulu mimi nitapeleka motion bunge ya kusensha wewe.
Apart from Aldai Member of Parliament Marian Kitan threatening Justin Muturi, even Sylvanus Osoro was not left behind. He came and gave Justin Muturi 10 days. It's either to resign, apologize or be impeached. Just listen to this.
Justin Muturi, ile kiboko tulipiga Gachagua ndio inakuja kwako. You resign ama nikutoe. Vile tuna resume bunge because tuko na siku 14 ndio to resume bunge. Justin Muturi, you have 3 options. Ya kwanza resign. Ya pili apologize to ignore your maneno. Ya tatu we impeach you. Tuna collect signatures uende nyumbani. You cannot serve the government of Kenya yenye unalima kila siku. Ati yo maneno namna hii. Sani yako anashikwa akifanya ukora, unasema ni abduction. Na wewe sani yako alipatikana kwa bar na vitu zingine za kufuta sijui nini akashikwa. Fundisha mtoto wako maadili bwana. Wacha ajipange pole pole. It can't be that the only people complaining are from one region. It can't be. Mpaka ma CSS mumeongezewa. Leo vetting inafanywa ya CSS kutoka mlima. Na sisi tumenyamaza tu. Unafikiria tuko happy?
Despite Kenyans, despite Justin Muturi's son being abducted and also being threatened that he's going to be impeached in Parliament, just listen to the response of the Public Service Cabinet Secretary Justin Muturi.
I would just say bring it on. At my age, I'm not the kind of person to respond to some of it is really very perfunctory statement made by fairly inexperienced politicians. I think they're not worthy my response. So if anybody thinks that I don't know what I'm doing, then they are up for a rude shock.
Many Kenyans are asking themselves, why did Justin Muturi take 6 months, 6 good months to make this issue public? And how was he trying to solve it? Listen to this.
Na hiyo kulikuwa na hizo habari kwamba mtoto wa Justin Muturi alitekwa nyara. Na ilikuwa ukweli, sio uongo. Lakini ile kitu ambayo watu wanajiuliza, mbona imemchukua miezi 6 kuongea? Mbona imemchukua miezi 6? Lakini ukisoma vizuri hiyo statement yake, yeye anasema kwamba hiyo muda yote alikuwa anajaribu kuuliza maswali ndani ya serikali, kuuliza wahusika ili apate majibu. kulingana na mimi naona ni kwamba vile anavyoeleza ni kwamba alikuwa anataka kuresolve hiyo issue internally but like there was no cooperation from those who are concerned, ndio imemchukua hii muda baada ya yeye kukosa kupata majibu akaona aongee. Mimi kulingana na mimi sioni siasa hapo, ingawaje pia hiyo kitu inaweza kuwa kwamba Justin Muturi anataka kuitumia kisiasa kwa sababu hajajiuzulu. Nafikiri anangoja rais amfute, kwa sababu rais akimfuta atapata some sympathy kutoka kwa watu wake huko Embu. Nafikiri hiyo ndio kitu anataka kuvuna kidogo kisiasa kutoka kwa hili swala, ingawaje aliadhirika. Hivyo ndio mimi ninaona.
Kenyans, remember Justin Muturi, this is a minister serving in the government, talking about abduction, also giving his own experience. So I'm just asking myself, like if a minister, a man who is serving in the government, can be a victim of abductions, what about you?
The headlines in all our papers today had Justin Muturi. All, including Business Daily. And what he said, this is a minister serving in a government talking about abductions and giving his own experience. We raised that issue here in the newspaper hour and we asked, why now? He was Attorney General. At the time his son was abducted. The son was released 6 months plus down the line. We now hear him. So is it a convenient time, and was it that in a previous time it wasn't convenient for him to speak about these things? Now, everyone and their uncle and cousin and grandmother have spoken on the subject of abductions, including our relatives from outside this country and outside our borders. It's an issue that young people have raised, civil society have raised. It has flooded the so-called media, social media spaces. It is everywhere. So one could argue he has come into the conversation, we hear him, but he has come into the conversation when people have been having it for a very long time. That's why the subject of, is it a convenient time? Not to diminish that he has spoken, no. Not to diminish that his son was abducted and he and the family must have gone through some serious turmoil. That's not it. The question of why now is what we were asking. Why now? Why didn't he speak earlier? And remember, you're talking about a subject matter that people have unrelentingly spoken about. Even today they speak about it. They speak about it every single day.
Despite says Muturi taking 6 good months to reveal his son's abductions, his sentiments must not be taken lightly, and he's passing a very crucial message. Like, abduction has been a daily occurrence in the Republic of Kenya. And let me tell you, Kenyans, it is time to fight back. Just listen to this.
When a system or a government subjects the masses through what we call political oppression, social degradation, and economic exploitation, the only option is resistance. As in, let me tell you, not unless those 3 things are taken keen into, we will always go into the same cycle of violence, of mistrust from the citizens, of misunderstandings between the citizens and the government, and it won't end there. But the worst thing is, growth is a gradual process. If you look at what we were discussing 2 years ago on what might come and what is happening today, it's growing by the day. Now look at this issue you're talking about today. You're talking of abductions. Now today we're just seeing there's a video trending where a police officer was arresting someone in Nakuru. And now the citizens are saying, hey, huyu hamumchukui.
Yes. Yeah.
And let me tell you, what happens is when you have a government, when you have top leaderships in a country who don't follow the rule of law, then how do you expect the normal citizens to follow the rule of law?
Yeah.
So we are going down that road of lawlessness. It's seriously and honestly sad, yeah? To an extent where you see a very senior government official like the former Attorney General, who is a sitting cabinet secretary, state clearly in a press conference yesterday that even his son was abducted. And he sits in what we call the National Security Governing Security Committee. That is the senior most organ security organ in the country. That is where all the critical decisions are made. And the people who sit there are very few top people: the president, the deputy president, the director of National Intelligence Service, the director of the police IG, the attorney general. Very few selected top security people in the country. And he says he could not be able to ascertain who had abducted his child.
And talking more about abductions, Thika Road was blocked at Ruiru after a body was found inside a river. And the demonstrators were saying that this body is a victim. It's a victim of abductions. Let's take a look at how things unfolded. A senior counsel and a former member of parliament, Abdikadir Mohani, he discussed and gave his honest opinion on why the Gen Zs are being abducted in Kenya. Just listen to what he had to say.
The only difference now is that the Gen Z are engaged and that the Gen Z are the target. The reason why they are target, we all know, is because they have become politically active.
Yeah.
Which is why it's absolutely no-brainer who is behind the abductions. And to be straight, it's the government of Kenya. That is government operatives who are behind this. There's zero doubt about that. But the reason why they are the target now is because they are doing important stuff. If they were worried about their Instagram stuff and nobody would bother with them, nobody would abduct them. They are doing important stuff, and the abductions is to scare them off. The reason why they are being targeted is because they are doing important work. And because they are the ones who are engaged, I can assure you the government is very scared right now. And the pushback is very important. Even that guy who you said don't do it.
The fact that he's saying don't do it.
3 years ago, nobody, they would stop at the middle of the streets and people will pick somebody and nobody would bother. In fact, if anything, they would help do that stuff. So I think absolutely they are doing a great job. You said it's the evolution. We have to continue evolving to the point, because between me and you, it's actually stupid for whoever thinks that kidnapping people or killing people would solve anything.
This abduction issue in Kenya has now gone internationally. Even the BBC, they decided to make a story about abductions in Kenya. Let's take a look at their version of the story.
Since June 2024, young people in Kenya critical of the government have gone missing. The Kenya Human Rights Commission says more than 80 people have been abducted in the last 6 months, with 24 still missing.
Some even say that they were waterboarded, hit with whips, punched, kicked. It was full scale of torture. They say they were security agencies because the line of questioning related to what the government appeared to be afraid of. So they were being asked, for example, who is funding your protests? Why are you protesting?
24-year-old Billy Mwangi is one of the people who went missing. He returned home 15 days after he was abducted from a barber shop by hooded men in unmarked vehicles.
When you hear your son was forcefully burdened into a car, you start now getting worried, because I remember when the mother got news, she collapsed. The boy has not shared a lot. When he came, he was not his real self. And as we speak, he is still healing from that shock.
The abductions started in June 2024 after a nationwide protest led by young people against the proposed tax hikes, corruption, and poor governance.
The reasons for abduction is simple. The government is afraid of accountability. The government is afraid of responding to critical questions that Kenyans have been asking.
I haven't authoritatively confirmed that it is the government who abducted that boy. but investigations are still ongoing. The abductors, I think they are trained, they are skilled, but I can assure you he was not abducted by any ordinary person.
The Kenya government has denied any involvement in the abductions. Kenya's head of police and the director of criminal investigations have twice ignored court summons to explain the abductions. For Billy, the road to recovery begins.
Billy is a young man who is so disciplined, and as at now, he has not restored that picture of himself. So he's still hiding, let me say so.
The abductions have caused outrage across the country. Parents and activists say they will continue to campaign until all are released.
Another member of parliament by the name of Kiare John, we all remember him during the Gen Z protests. He came out and said that those images that you're seeing on the internet are photoshopped. This member of parliament, this politician, has come back again with another bombshell. He has made a very reckless and careless statement about abductions in Kenya. Just listen to what he had to say.
Yes, there are issues that could be pointing a finger at the police. In the same breath, there are people who have been reported and sensationalized online for a whole weekend, only to turn up that they had traveled to a different county or a different town to go and see a boyfriend or a girlfriend, which is also a fact. But the point I wanted to make was beyond
What is
that.
factual about that?
Yeah?
What is factual about traveling to see their boyfriends or girlfriends?
But they had been reported as missing.
Who?
And we had even cases where we had people who were even sensationalized on social media that this is a massive missing person, and it was mistaken to be a case of abduction.
What is the?
And you even reported.
What is
it
the
as media.
example?
Well, there is a lady who disappeared for an entire weekend, and it turned out that they had gone to see a boyfriend in a city that was different from where they live.
Is that what she recorded with the DCI?
Is what is that? I have no idea what she has recorded.
So why are you
with the
pointing
DCI.
that out as an example?
Okay, let's give them.
Even our own soldiers are having a hard time, Kenyans. Like some of them have been taken to Somalia and other countries to fight terrorism under harsh conditions. One Kenyan soldier who went to Somalia to fight, then he was captured. And he was captured for a quite number of years and was never released. Just listen to this sad story.
Mimi ni mfungo wa kivita, niko mkononi mwa Al-Shabaab.
So that initially looked like just another propaganda video by the Al-Shabaab. But now the family of Abdullahi Issa Ibrahim has reached out to me and confirmed that that is their dad. Wanaomba hiyo video in the viral. Why? Now, walikuwa initially budao amededi hadi wakafanya burial. Kwa nini? Now allegedly the military guys have a rule that if a soldier goes missing for over 5 years anakuwa declared dead. But jana, out of nowhere, on a random TikTok page, wanaona budao akisema mazejo mi bado niko Somalia, nimeshikwa, and if possible the Kenyan government should come for me. They are now asking the public to make that video go viral. This is the page in the video iko, if you get the right people, so that their dad can come back home.
So Kenyans, do you think that all systems in Kenya have already collapsed? And do you think that the men and women who should be protecting the people of Kenya and fighting and seeking justice have turned their backs on the people? Let's listen to what Ismbanya had to say.
The image of DCI in this country has completely gone to the dogs. Completely. It will take a miracle to have, that entire system cleansed. I don't know what man of corruption got in there. They use our officers as abductors, as kidnappers. Unasikia even at the highest level. Mtoto wa Justin Muturi. Wenye walipanga walikuwa huko juu. These high ranking officers at the DCI branch. My God. Where are we heading? Where are we headed as a country? Manzi Ruto ameharibu every system in this country. He found working systems. All of them are corrupted to the core right now. I don't think we have one working system we can trust in this country. In less than 2 years, under just 2 years, everything gone. Poof.
If you dig deeper and ask yourself, what is the actual reason for abductions in Kenya? Because this is getting out of hand. Like, we cannot keep on losing our people. We cannot keep on losing the Gen Zs being abducted. And some of them, their bodies are found in rivers. For how long? Listen to what the Villager 254 had to say about this.
By the way, did you sit for a moment and think
why the government and all politicians are against the Gen Zs and the millennials. Let me give you facts. Number one, we've always been told that the leadership of tomorrow is belongs to the youth. Now, the people we had planned to rule them for 100 years have suddenly woken up and they can no longer be ruled by us. Therefore, we want them to lie low like an envelope and they allow us to rule them. Apparently, the Gen Z and the millennials are taking up leadership, and this is the biggest problem that Ruto never anticipated and his political charlatans never anticipated. Now, this is the problem. The youth are taking over.
Unlike the Dadaab Member of Parliament, Farah Maalim, who said that if he was given power, he would have killed 5,000 Gen Zs. Another traitor, another betrayer, another backstabber by the name of Kasabwel Makore, he came out again to abuse Kenyans. And just listen to what this, just take a look.
Kenyans are such an indisciplined lot. One, they come for protests late. Two, they don't want to take accountability. But they don't want you to take charge either. This thing requires discipline. It requires total commitment. It requires, people just love typing this, that it requires eternal vigilance.
Apart from the Tanzanian activist by the name of Maria Sarungi Tsehai, who she was abducted in Kenya just recently. Do you guys remember when Kizza Besigye, a high-ranking politician from Uganda, was abducted in Kenya and taken back to Uganda? Like, if a high-ranking official, government official, a politician or an activist can be abducted in Kenya, do you think that you are safe? Do you think that we are safe in this country? And so many other people have been abducted. Foreigners who are seeking asylum in this country, seeking refuge in this country, that are being abducted, and some of them, they end up losing their lives. Let's listen to Yvonne Okwara's take.
So you want to tell me that Ugandan security officials had the knowledge that Kizza Besigye was walking around in Nairobi, particularly in the Riverside area, dangerously armed? Not only were they aware of this, they trailed him and then arrested him in Kenya and transported him across the border only to be presented before a Ugandan military court? All of this without the Kenyan government knowing what the Ugandan sleuths were up to? Wow. So what else are they doing in this country that we may not be aware of? In fact, might there be any other foreign security officials or mercenaries, for that matter, wandering about here like children in a plantation looking to pick guavas to eat? Further, assuming that this information may have some merit, isn't this a Kenyan territorial issue? A dangerously armed man is in the country. Isn't that a matter for us to deal with? To be specific, seeing as he was supposedly found somewhere around Riverside in Nairobi, shouldn't that be a matter for the Kilimani Police Division to deal with? I imagine it would be the Kilimani Division police officers to conduct the investigation and the arrest, present him in a Kenyan court, and then inform Uganda that they're holding their national. Folks, this whole incident smells off. And this is because this is not the first incident of this nature that we've witnessed in the country. You see, exactly 1 month ago, the Kenyan government abandoned the principle of non-refoulement when 4 Turkish nationals were abducted and deported back to their country. The Foreign Affairs Ministry says this was at the request of the Turkish government for the 4 individuals who had been recognized by the UN as refugees. To boot, Kenya adopted a Pontius Pilate stance, saying they did not want to get involved in the affairs of another country. That's not all. Remember Ethiopian national Samson Tekla Michael, who was abducted and has been missing in this country for 3 years now? And don't forget that in August 2022, or later in that year, Pakistani journalist Arshad Sharif fled his country, sought refuge in Kenya, following death threats over his reporting on corruption. How wrong he was. He was shot and killed in Kajiado County. These incidents do not bode well for Kenya's territorial integrity. They erode our standing in the eyes of the international community. All of this, by the way, even as Kenyans themselves get abducted within their own country. If we're not careful, Kenya could soon be known as the abduction capital of the world. That's my take.
Do you guys remember these photos of the president which has been trending on the internet? It seems like the politicians, the government, they don't understand the real and true meaning and definition of these photos. And if you also don't understand the meaning, just listen to this.
We have seen people who have been told not to do this and they are doing that. Why? Because Kenya has become like a rehabilitation to everyone. We have seen people, like we saw the president, saying that we were not supposed to post those things that we have posted. But let me tell you, we are not burying the president. We are only burying the character in him. We are burying the bad characters that are happening in our government. We have seen people who have been abducted. We have seen people who have been going through a lot of problems in Kenya.
This clearly shows you that the politicians are afraid of this.
In the book of Paul, Paul said that it's better the day you die as a good man than the day you are born. Are we together? Just go and look in history. All dictators in the world, you can tell them anything. You can tell them stop Adani, they will close their ears. You can tell them we don't want vaccination, they will close their ears. You can tell them we don't want finance bill, they will close their ears and wacheni porojo, and they will tell you wacheni porojo. But dare tell the dictators that they are going to die. That is the worst thing you'll ever tell a dictator.
This issue has gotten so serious in Kenya. Even one Kenyan man is urging the Kenyans in diaspora to take action.
This one is for Kenyans in the diaspora. Tafadhalini, wherever you are, whether it's UK, Europe, USA, guys, we have groups, we have WhatsApp groups. Let's unite. Tushirikiane, let us brainstorm, let tuchange, let's do all we can to make sure that this brutal dictator by the name William Samoei Ruto, we get rid of him within the shortest time possible. God bless you all. God bless Kenya.
Despite the challenges that Kenyans are facing each and every day, the people are still injecting, and they're injecting mercilessly, and they're injecting in different forms, fighting for good governance and a better future for this country. Take a look at some of these kids from Kenyans who are remaking and reacting the abductions scenes.
But spokesman,
no, I'm not taking any questions.
Someone is literally
Who's
being
abducting people?
These police are checking.
No, there's no police abduct. What do you mean? Abel, just tell her that you're not the police. What does she mean? No, this is not the police. This is the NIS.
What is spokesman?
Burkina Faso ya noma saya sida Faso noma Burkina Faso ya noma saya sida Faso ya na tenga noma
Kasongo yeye Mombali nanga Kasongo mbona wewe Songa
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
They're coming for you.
The problem is not the citizens of Kenya. The problem is the leadership.
from Ruto's new abduction squad.
In early 2023, he re-established a similar unit.
To City Mortuary becoming a crime scene.
There is a body tagged 2360, which even the morgue operators are unable to say where that body is.
Was Raymond Otieno murdered?
Was murdered, and these people who murdered Raymond are well known.
Is the state responsible?
Mnafanya abductions, watu wanapatikana City Mortuary. Wale walishikwa huko ni Mlolongo ama ni wapi? Walipatikana mortuary wakiwa mortuary, and they are believed to be abducted by the same forces.
We are coming for you.
Five Kenyan police were arrested or literally abducted by the Ugandan police.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to ShowNewTrend. I'm your host for today, and my name is Elvis Dairy. Abductions has been a daily occurrence in the Republic of Kenya, and Kenyans are tired of hearing their brothers and sisters have been abducted. Their mothers and fathers, their neighbors, and some of them, they end up being found dead. So Kenyans, who is responsible for abductions in this country called Kenya? Listen to what Free Kenya Movement Chairman Bob Njagi had to say about this.
First, I want to confirm and say it here on live TV that I do believe that it is the state that is responsible for our abductions, without any iota of doubt. The handcuffs that I was put on my hands for 32 days. The handcuff number was 11DC 1892. That's a handcuff number. 11DC 1892. That's the number of my handcuffs. Okay, it's only the state that has these instruments that can be used to incarcerate somebody, right? Since our release from abduction, we've not been asked by the state to be investigated. We've not been asked by the DCI to go and record statements for investigations. If there is other people outside the state that are abducting people, then the state has the instruments of investigating to find out who then abducted us. I was not abducted alone. On the same day I was abducted, there were two other gentlemen in the same fashion that were abducted in Kitengela. That is Aslam and Jamil Longton. And we happened again to be released on the same day. This is after the Inspector General of Police had been found in contempt of court for having not, presented himself to court for 7 times. The same thing is happening with the new Inspector General.
I'm just wondering, where are we heading to as a country, Kenyans? Raymond Otieno, who was very vocal in the political arena, fighting for good governance and a better future for this country, he was murdered in Nakuru County in cold blood. Let's listen to what Honorable Babu Owino had to say about this case.
On this matter of Raymond Otieno, I want to state that Raymond was murdered, and these people who murdered Raymond are well known. Before Raymond's death, Raymond on several occasions posted on his Facebook handle, social media, posted on his WhatsApp groups within Molo, Nakuru County, that his life was in danger. Raymond was attacked in November, around 23rd day of November 2024. Raymond registered a complaint, had a P3, filled a P3 for action. The police failed to act on the P3. The police failed to arrest those who attacked Raymond, and Raymond stated clearly that he knew them. Raymond stated clearly that he was being threatened by the area member of parliament, Kimani Kuria. And he stated, and there are those screenshots, and even on his social media handle. And even the wife came out and talked clearly, having known those who were threatening Raymond. Why can't the police act on those who attacked Raymond, on those who killed Raymond? Yet they know very well the person who killed Raymond.
A government pathologist by the name of Johansen Odwor, he came out to reveal some disturbing information on how Molo activist Richard Otieno was brutally murdered. Kenyans, just listen to this.
The late Richard had several severe injuries. There were multiple slash wounds on the back of the head, which led to fracture of the skull and the extensive bleeding of the brain. There were also some slash wounds on the frontal area of the skull, though this one did not fracture the brain, the skull, and there were also bruises on the face. What also we found was also more bruises on the arms, which looked like someone who was trying to defend himself. So from these findings, we can say that the late Richard died as a result of severe head injury, which was caused by a sharp object, which could either be a panga or an axe, which was used severally on the head. We've taken some samples for analysis because you know that LOCAD principle say that when two people meet in a violent way, there's exchange in DNA material. So there's some samples we've taken from the body, which can help us see whether we can apprehend people who did it, their fingernails for DNA. We're also taking samples for toxicological analysis to find out if there's something which was given to him to slow him down prior to him meeting the assailants at the place where he was.
I am just speechless and shocked after hearing what government pathologist Johansen Odwor has said about this case. This is very barbaric and very inhumane. Kenyans, I'm just wondering, is this the country, is this the future that the Kenya Kwanza government promised the people of Kenya during campaigns? Many Kenyans have accused Molo Member of Parliament Kuria Kimani for taking part in Richard Otieno's death. But Molo MP Kuria Kimani has also come forward and promised the Kenyan people that Richard Otieno will get justice. I'm just wondering, will justice be served? Listen to this.
May I assure that my constituencies that I have been in communication with the Rift Valley Regional Criminal Investigation Officer, the Nakuru security team, and the Molo security operators, demanding that there should be expeditious investigations into this. And whoever is involved, and I repeat, whoever is involved must and should be brought to justice.
5 suspects who were implicated in the gruesome murder of Richard Otieno, Molo human rights activists, were arrested. And Nakuru court has granted police 21 more days to hold the suspects until the conclusion of the investigation. So Kenyans, take a look at the faces of the murderers of the suspects who were arrested in Nakuru court.
For the state.
Yes.
Your Honor, we are seeking for 30 days to enable us conclude the investigations into this matter. The investigations will involve collection of Safaricom data. We are yet to record statements of crucial witnesses. Post-mortem is also yet to be conducted. Or it has been conducted. We are awaiting samples that were taken to the government chemist analyst. We are yet to receive that report.
As the investigations continue, Molo residents, they turned up massively in large numbers in Siaya County to bury their comrade, Molo activist Richard Otieno, also known as the Molo president. Take a look.
Watu wa Siaya, sisi hatujui kuandamana, lakini tuliandamana. Warudisha mkono, hiyo maneno wanafanyaga ya tochi, ya nini, waende wafanye mambo hayo, tujue hao ni ya kina nani. Sisi kule Elbago tunajipanga na nyuki, na hivi karibuni mtaona matokeo. Kwa sababu leo ni Richard, kesho ni wewe, kesho ni mimi. Haki ya Richard lazima ipatikane. Tunasema hivi, Richard, tafadhali don't rest in peace. Haki yako ipatikane, mapambano bado yako.
In Mombasa County, things were boiling. The judges there went on to call for a press briefing, calling to an end to abduction, urging for citizen action towards this mass murder of unarmed civilians, disobedience of court orders, and also subversion of the Constitution of Kenya by the rogue regime. Take a look.
Tumeungana pamoja na Wakenya wote nchini kukemea na kupinga na kuonya ubaradhuli na ubepari ambao unaendelea nchini. Hali ambayo iliyoko sahihi kulingana na haki za kibinadamu ni hali ya kutisha, ni hali ya kusikitisha na ni hali ya kutamausha. Vijana wanauliwa left, right and center. Leo kama mwanaharakati kuzungumza, it is like signing a death sentence. Kenya leo, there is violations of human rights of the highest order. We lack a vocabulary to describe this. Wanaharakati tunanyanyaswa, wanaharakati tunatishwa, wanaharakati tunapigwa, wanaharakati hatuna uhuru wa kusema jambo lolote. Hivi hapa tulivyosimama, hata tunaogopa tunaweza kushikwa tukaambiwa this is unlawful assembly. Tunasema hali hii ikome, na sisi kama wanaharakati hatutatishwa. Sisi kama wanaharakati tunapinga mauaji ambayo yametokea Nairobi. We shall give them a 7-day notice and we shall serve them legally and appropriately. And we are calling upon all the Gen Zs in Mombasa County. When we call for action and demonstration, we want you to come out. This is your legal right constitutionally, na haufai kutishwa na mtu yoyote kwa sababu kuandamana ni haki yako.
Kenyans received heartbreaking news regarding the discovery of 2 dead bodies, that of Justus Mutumwa and Martin Mwau, who had gone missing since December 2024.
Kenyans, let's not forget Kitengela 4, who were brutally murdered after they were suspected to be livestock thieves. They were heading back home from a birthday party and none of their motorbikes developed a problem. So while they were fixing their motorbike, some guards descended on them and beating them to death. And I'm just wondering, who gave you the power to take somebody's life? Who gave you the power to kill? Is there not a police station around there where you can take them and they get charged or booked? Let's take a look.
The family of 2 brothers, Frederick Mureithi Wanjiru and Victor Mwangi Wanjiru, arrived at the city mortuary for the 2nd time this week. They were here on Monday to identify bodies of their loved ones who went missing on Saturday last week. Thursday morning, they assembled here yet again for a post-mortem examination, and the results revealed the gory details of the attack.
Post-mortem inasema ni kuchapwa hii jari kidogo ya mwili, halafu na kudugwa na chapo object. Lakini mimi nilikuwa huku nikaona hiyo mili vile imeuliwa, kwangu vile niliona hao watu walikuwa wamedugwa na kitu chapo hapa. Shimo ilikuwa kubwa, imeingia badani kwa ubongo.
The distraught family narrating the Saturday incident that occurred a day after the 4 friends reportedly left their homes in Syokimau, riding their sports bikes to celebrate the birthday of one of them, 25-year-old Victor Mwangi Wanjiru.
Kenya is becoming a lawless country that even killing, murder has been normalized. Those guards who killed the Kitengela 4, they should be arrested and charged and locked away for good. We cannot have murderers walking among us. Chief Justice Martha Koome, she now pretends to condemn President William Ruto over the abductions, as the number of those who have been killed is rising day by day. Take a look.
I, as a mother, and now as a grandmother, I put myself in the shoes of that parent whose child was abducted, and for days on, months on, they do not know where their child is. What I have to say as the Chief Justice is that Kenya is a country of the rule of law. We have the Constitution, We have other statutes, the Penal Code, the Criminal Procedure Code, which define every crime.
As the number of abductions and murder rises day by day in Kenya, if I may ask you, do you think that President William Ruto has an abduction squad, and even worse, a killer squad that is freely operating in Kenya without repercussions? Listen to this.
After Ruto disbanded SSU in early 2023, he re-established a similar unit within DCI. Retained some people from the SSU and recruited others. Those were people being recruited for a new unit that replaced SSU. It is called Operation Support Unit. So Operation Support Unit is the one which replaced SSU, and it is doing exactly what SSU used to do.
This has been so normalized that even armed men using fake number plates walking around, they can simply just abduct a Kenyan citizen if they want to. Like Kenyans, it is time for us to raise our voices. Let's put an end to these extrajudicial killings and enforce disappearances in the Republic of Kenya. Listen to what activist Hussein Khalid had to say about the Mlolongo 4.
We have the 4 families. Just to clarify, Mlolongo, it's Mlolongo 4, not Mlolongo 3. These 4 who were abducted, they all know each other. They were actually friends. So 3 of them were abducted on 17th, and then they came back and picked MBC, the 4th one, or the day after. So it's Mlolongo 4 colleagues, not Mlolongo 3. 2, Justus and Martin, their fingerprints were taken, and of course the message was sent to their rural home. As Wakili has said, that information came to light yesterday. The other 2, we have information that the other 2 might be here, but the morgue attendants have asked us for time because there are very many bodies. So they are trying to locate on those dates those 2 whose features might resemble these other 2 colleagues. But the 4 families are here together. We are hoping that once everything has been confirmed, then we'll move to the postmortem process. The bodies are not in very good shape. They appear to have been mutilated. Even you can't really tell from the look on the faces only, you can't really identify who they are. It's the fingerprints and probably the DNA.
A citizen TV journalist by the name of Odi Francis exposed that a body which was booked at City Mortuary alongside with other 2 Mlolongo victims went missing. This makes City Mortuary a crime scene. Let's take a look.
I want to go on record so the country may know that actually there is a body that was brought here, and it's on the record, alongside the body tagged 2390. There is a body tagged 2360, which even the morgue operators are unable to say where that body is. It's on the record, but nobody knows where the body is.
Tumebaini kuwa tarehe 18 Disemba mwaka 2024 mwili uliopatikana eneo la Njiru ulifikishwa katika makafani ya City saa 11 jioni na maafisa kutoka kituo cha polisi cha Obama eneo la Kayole. Siku moja baadaye maafisa wa polisi kutoka kituo cha polisi cha Ruai wakafikisha mwili mwingine tarehe 19 saa 12 jioni, na baada ya dakika 50 mwili wa 3 ukafikishwa katika makafani hayo ya City saa 12 na dakika 50, na maafisa wa polisi kutoka kituo cha polisi cha Molem wakifikisha mwili ambao uliorodheshwa kupatikana mtaa wa Molem, Dandora.
There's some collusion here between this institution and the police to hide bodies here, and victims who have been abducted, they too will be summoned to court. They will answer.
Like seriously, where are we heading to as a country? The Kenya government should be held accountable for the murders and the abductions that is taking place in our territory. A member of the Kenyan Senate by the name of Edwin Sifuna, he came on and said that Nairobi City Mortuary, its management and the county government are complicit in the abduction and killing of Kenyans. How is it the bodies of the men from Mlolongo have been there since December 18th, and when families visited the facility, they couldn't find them? It is quite clear that the management is in cahoots with the abductors and they must be held accountable. Just listen to what the ground is saying.
Hii mambo ya kutuambia stories za jaba hapa Kenya hakuna. Sisi mnafanya abductions, watu wanapatikana City Mortuary. Wale walishikwa huko ni Mlolongo ama ni wapi? Walipatikana mortuary wakiwa mortuary, and they are believed to be abducted by the same forces. The same people that we pay with our own taxpayers' money. And then wanachukua hawa watu wanaenda kutupa kuua watu, wanapatikana mochari. Kama mliua Brian, mulete mwili tuone, tujuage kitendo yenye ilifanyika. Lakini msitufiche, msijifanye hapo ati nyinyi ni werevu sana. Hakuna werevu mko nayo. This time round tumetoka kwa hiyo level ya kubebagwa ufara na kubebwa ujinga. Kama DCI mjafanya kazi yenu, I will promise you, you are turning Kenya to be now. Yeah? Kama ile shughuli inafanyika huko Congo. Mutaona vile tutainuka kinyume na polisi. Because we cannot be watching ati mtu anabebwa alafu anadisappear.
Even our own police officers are not safe from abductions. Malaba border was closed after Kenyan police officers, they were abducted and repatriated to Kampala from our own Kenyan soil. Can you imagine that? Just listen to this.
Hii ndo hali ilipo pande ya Malaba. Mimi mwenyewe nazungumza, niko katikati ya mto pale juu ya bridge ile imegawanya Uganda na Kenya. Niko katikati ya hiyo bridge nikielekea pande ya Uganda. Vile mnapoona hakuna gari yote inafuka kuelekea Kenya, na pande hii nyingine ya Kenya mkiangalia hakuna gari yote inayofuka kuelekea pande ya Uganda. Hii ni kufuatia maneno ya jana yale yaliyosema kana kwamba kuna polisi wa Kenya alishikwa na polisi wa Uganda na wakampeleka Kampala. Jana walijaribu wakafunga boda kwa muda wa nusu saa, lakini baadaye wakashirikiana wakaona wafungue boda lakini wapeane masaa. Ikifika asubuhi ya leo kama huyo polisi hajaachiliwa, boda itafungwa mpaka ile siku huyo polisi ataachiliwa. Na ndiposa mnaona hali ilivyo.
How can the Kenyan government allow such treasonous acts by allowing foreign powers to perpetrate treasonous acts within our borders? But who are the Kenyan people? The Kenyan people decided to go and eject the occupied, and they protested against the abduction of our Kenyan police officers. Later on, the police officers were released, and the crowd, the masses, they cheered in support of our police officers. Just take a look. These stories of abductions and murder did not just start recently. It has been here for quite some time. Kenyans, do you remember a Kenyan billionaire by the name of Jacob Juma, who was assassinated for turning into a whistleblower? Before his death, he said that President William Ruto is the one who is planning to take him out. Let's take a look at this.
The late Jacob Juma, at 12:34 p.m. on the 10th of December 2015, tweeted, and I quote, "The person who is obsessed with plans to kill me is William Ruto. I know that my assassination was discussed on Tuesday." My question to you is, did you have anything to do with that? As the late Jacob Juma claimed, as Jirongo claimed, and why you?
Well, I think we lost Jacob Juma. That he would be best placed to respond to your question. And maybe you should look for some time, get Jirongo here, so that he can tell the country what he means. But I am sure as the sun is going to rise tomorrow, that the killers of Jacob Juma will be brought to book. I am hoping that they will be brought to book, and they will be known. I want to tell you, and to tell Kenyans, and to tell the country, that I have nothing to do with anything to do with the life or death of Jacob Juma.
Investigations are going on. Have the police questioned you since Jacob Juma directly?
When the police want a statement from me, I will give it freely. Any day, any time, anywhere.
It is quite clear that President William Ruto cannot handle criticism. Neither can he handle to be held accountable. Not unlike Raila Amolo Odinga, the former Prime Minister of Kenya, who has been in the political game for quite some time. He has been criticized for decades, but yet he has learned to know his boundaries. Listen to what Fanya Mambo Kinuthia had to say about this.
If there is a politician who has been insulted in this country, by the way, let me tell you, if Raila was a bad-hearted man, Mimi sijui kama kuna mtu Kenya ametukanwa kuliko Raila. Raila has been called Kehe, he's been called uncircumcised, he's been called
Mchawi, Muganga.
There is no word you can imagine that Raila has not been called. I have never had him send his boys to go and kill, abduct or mistreat the people who've called him names. Raila ameitwa Kimudu Kiguruki. He's been called all sorts of names, and I usually say hats off. I respect him for the fact that he has the thickest skin I have seen in Kenyan politics.
That is why he's Baba.
He has a strong aptitude. He can take up so much. I personally don't think I would have the strength to take up what Baba has taken in. He has really been demeaned and insulted, all in trying to help this country. When he keeps quiet, it's a problem. When he speaks, it's a problem. When he leaves the country, they have a problem that he has left. When he returns, they say, kwa nini amerudi? When he supports Ruto, it's a problem. When he leaves him alone, amenyamaza sana. So it's hard to be Baba. It's hard to be Baba.
The Law Society of Kenya, led by President Faith Odhiambo, have called for a nationwide condemnation of the abductions and the killings of the Gen Zs. Let's take a look.
And what that means that the abductions that are going on are either committed by some of the security operatives or with the connivance or sufferance of the security apparatus, and that must be called out. And it's not an excuse to say that, you know, the Gen Zs or some of the people in Kenya have taken to, you know, abusing social media. That is true. But there's no way an abuse in the social media can call for death. And that is why when Faith Odhiambo asked me yesterday, the other day, that the LSK is going to sue on behalf of all those who have since been killed, either during the demonstrations or subsequently, I told her I will support that, and I'll be very glad to lead the team without any apology.
We need the National Police Service to give us tangible answers. You can't deny and say you don't know what is happening. It's not you who has arrested. It's not you who has abducted. And yet at the very same time, it's your same police officers who are saying they have found the body, yet you're saying you do not know. Or you need to tell us who is the person killing Kenyans. We need to stand firm as a nation and as a people. Our country is a beautiful country. We have beautiful laws. Let us bring life to those laws. Today I saw a clarification by IPOA saying that they have not said they cannot investigate. I hope they will show us by action. We have not seen any arrests arising from the Gen Z protest to the current abductions. Nothing is going on in our country.
Frequent abductions and killings have really affected the Kenyan people psychologically. And I'm just wondering, when will all this stop? Just take a look at this skit.
Wala tushuke tumgote. Walai.
Imeweza.
Wewe Ken, ni sisi bana. Kumbe ni nyinyi. Wewe umeenda. Hebu usikia. Ndio wazee ilikuwa zaidi hapa. Sisi. Wewe unayepa wewe Ken. Wewe rudi. Sawa, nakaa.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
5 Kenyan police were arrested or literally abducted by the Ugandan police.
for you.
From Muslims joining Catholics,
Mimi nasema isiwe ni wa Catholic, hata viongozi wa kidini wote.
To Anglican Church on fire.
Separate yourself from William Ruto. That's the voice of God.
Is the end times near?
Kwa hivyo wakati nitamuita maandamano, mutoke. Tukisema haki,
Embu governor disrespecting voters.
Wanatoka kura tora kari tiatia. Embu tutiana kinyakau.
Anguka na. We are coming for you.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to ShowNewTrend. I'm also today and my name is Elvis Diri. During the Gen Z protests, you also saw that the church was quiet, even though the young people who went to fight for the freedom of this country, they were being killed on the streets like animals. The church was silent to the point where they went to meet the president in State House. But currently, I'm seeing like the church is starting to wake up and realizing their mistakes. The Catholic Archdiocese of Nairobi, they say that they will be no longer taking political donations from Governor Sakaja, from Nairobi Governor Sakaja and President William Ruto. And they released a statement, and this is what the statement said. The Catholic Church strongly discourages the use of church events such as fundraisers and gatherings as platforms for political self-promotion. Politicians are urged to refrain from turning the pulpit into a stage of politics. To be honest, they will have released this statement long time ago. Where were they when Rex Masai, the first comrade who was gunned down during the protests, where were they when the Gen Zs, Kenyan people were being abducted, killed and tortured? Where were they? Let us go all the way to the Anglican Church, where Jackson Olesapit decided to inject and sending a very strong message to Ruto and Raila. Listen to this.
This time I want to talk to the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Separate yourself from William Ruto. That's the voice of God. Separate yourself from William Ruto. I know you are a man very difficult to accept prophecies and even difficult to accept advice. You are a man that is strong-headed, and what you determine to do, nobody dissuades you. At times even God cannot dissuade you. It is upon you to take this or leave it. But you have time between now and next year, June, to separate yourself from William Ruto. What will come after that, don't blame anyone, blame yourself. That is the voice of God.
Birds of the same feathers flock together. There's no difference between Raila and Ruto. They are all the same. Even their names starts with the letter R. How can you put your hopes on somebody who already sold the country by supporting Adani? He went on and supported Adani Group taking over the JKIA International Airport in Nairobi.
I have therefore followed with a lot of interest the current debate surrounding the efforts to improve JKIA and our energy sector through PPP arrangements.
And do you know why Raila Amolo Odinga didn't hesitate to support Adani? Just listen to this.
It is very well choreographed.
He just came in. The process started.
You know, Adani is one of the big Indian companies. And Raila Odinga has admitted that he knew these companies up to 2010 when he was Prime Minister. And it was one of the companies sponsoring his campaign so that he becomes president in 2012.
Kenyans, this is what we call mchezo wa town. Even I know Henry the whistleblower who went to protest against the Adani deal. When we lose our fear, they lose their power. Churches are injecting left, right and center every day. A Catholic bishop decided that enough is enough and he called for protests. Listen to this.
Kwa hivyo wakati nitamuita maandamano, mutokee. Tukisema haki, na mimi ndio nitakuwa naongoza. Na tunaweza ingia State House. Wewe usicheze na sisi. Zote tunateseka, watu wanakufa hivyo bure kwa sababu matibabu imekuwa ipatika. Hii inaitwa anganisha na shia na wote. Si mnaikumbuka hiyo? Hata ieleweki ni gani. Na imekuwa shinda kubwa kwa watu. Na sasa wakaeleza. Na wakaambia kiongozi wetu kuna mambo mengi hawafurahii. Na uongo umekuwa mwingi katika nchi yetu. Watu wanaambiwa watafanyiwa hivi na wafanyiwi. Na hata sisi tunayaona na tunayapitia na ni sisi tuko pale. Tukiwaambia wanakuja wanatuambia nyinyi hamuna ukweli wa mambo yale mnasema.
Even clerics from Pentecostal churches, they were not left behind. They came out in large numbers to support the Catholic bishops who are talking and calling out the government for not being there for Kenyans, for disappointing Kenyans. Take a look.
Serikali yetu aweze kujali hata wananchi wake, maana kwa sasa hivi tuko na challenges hasa kwa ile card ya NHIF kurudishwa kuwa SHA. Imekuwa ni tatizo kubwa kwa wananchi wengi kwa sababu majina yao hayako mahali pale. Kwa hivyo ninaomba ya kwamba yaweze kutekelezwa kwa njia ambaye inastahili ili tuweze kufaidika katika hali ya kiafya.
The church stands for harmony of all the Kenyan people, and the church is the conscience of the nation. So whenever we speak on behalf of many Kenyan people, and we speak as the voice of the church. We would want to register our support of our brothers, the bishops of the Catholic Church. We are all one church, and we all believe in the same God. We serve the same Kenyan people. So the observations that they have made and aired before us are what we also would want to affirm, because that is what is in the ground. And we would want to ask our leaders, especially the elected leaders, to be connected to the ground, to the people who elected them.
So to you clerics from Pentecostal churches, listen, there's no time to connect with deceit, corruption, abductors, and many other evil things that they have subjected to the Kenyan people. The Kenyan people's blood has already been shed. This is what the Kenyan people really want. In Kakamega, a Catholic bishop by the name of Joseph Obanyi decided to inject, asking the president, where is IEBC and why is it not constituted? IEBC stands for Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. This is an independent regulatory agency which was founded in 2011 through the making of the current Kenyan constitution. Just listen.
So the question of IEBC, where is it? Where is it? Why is it not constituted? This is what we are asking. What? Or am I ni mimi nimesahau? Iko. Right now we have to call elections. Is there a body which will carry out that? So vitu kama hivyo tunaomba, na sisi tulifanya hilo kwa wema, so that we can really build a country. We are not doing that so that we destroy any system. No, we are raising issues that are coming from the ground, issues that are real, issues that we get from our people. And when we are raising them, it's not for any evil intention. It is that we can collaborate and see that this country gets what it needs. And we are praying, and that's why we are asking for IEBC and so on, so that people are given their freedom to exercise truly their democratic rights.
Even the churchgoers, the born-again ones, are also tired. They are tired with the current regime. While Ruto was in Embu addressing the nation, the congregants decided to walk away while he was talking. Take a look. And that's not all. Even when Ruto was leaving Embu, the residents, the voters, Kenyans decided to inject, and this is how they injected. After all that, the governor of Embu, Mbarire Sasile, came back to lecture the voters, lecture the residents of Embu, and lecture the Kenyan people for them just expressing themselves.
Rosio, niturenda doko itire gutumwa. Na ruto tingekora nituretia maundu mau na tutukinye bandu ba gutura ndoni ati tukaugiriria munene wa burudi shetani ashinde. Wana tukakora turakarite atia. Embu tutiana kinya bau ba kugiriria muthamaki. Na turutetwe siasa cia mbara, cia kuganiriria, cia irumi, ni atongoria marenda tore njira.
This definitely sounds like an ass kisser to me. In the Kenyan Constitution and the Kenyan law, Kenyans have the right to speech and express their views and opinions. So class, is the pressure increasing or decreasing? Back in Kakamega, Elsie Muhanda, the women's representative, went on to confront the Governor Barasa on stage. Just watch how things unfolded. Reverend Tegu Mutahi decided to inject, talking about the she and sha nonsense that the government has forced it on the people of Kenya. Also talking about the new university funding model. Just take a look at what he had to say.
A number of things that are not going right in this country, particularly the transition from NHIF to SHIF. This has gone terribly wrong. We have patients going to hospital, they cannot access medical care. Some are suffering at home. Some of them have died. So sad. But the government keep on saying that things are going right. It is unfortunate. Just as the bishop said, and we have also been saying it as the President Church of East Africa, that transition ought to have been managed better, because Kenyans are suffering in a very big way. And we are sad that the government is still saying it is going on well, yet there are very vivid pictures of people who are suffering all over the country, in all counties. They can't access medical care. The cards that are being transited to SHIF, it has not been fully done. It's an issue of great concern. The other issue of great concern is university education. One, there is the new university funding model that is, segmenting the students, saying some should pay this amount, some another ratio. It is going to create discrimination in education.
And North Rift chairman, Council of Imams and a preacher of Kenya, Sheikh Abubakar Bini, he came out and supported the Catholic priests, the bishops, the pastors, and all other religious leaders who are being vocal against the corrupt regime. And just listen to what Sheikh Abubakar Bini had to say.
Tumeona kwa muda huu Siasa ambazo zinazoendelea ni viongozi wa kidini, hasa dhehebu kubwa la Catholic, maaskofu kujitokeza na kutoa ushauri kwa serikali. Hili tusilichukue ni kwa kuwa ni ukosoaji, bali ni ushauri, na ushauri una baraka. Ni vizuri serikali wasikie ushauri kutoka viongozi wa kidini. Mimi nasema isiwe ni wa Catholic tu, hata viongozi wa kidini wote wanapoona mambo hayendi mazuri, ni wajibu tujitokeze tuseme ingelikuwa uzuri zaidi ifanywe hivi, na inapokuwa mazuri tupongeze serikali, tumpongeze kiongozi ya kwa kuwa unalolifanya ni zuri na uendelee hapo, shikilia na hapo, kwa sababu isitafsiriwe mtu viongozi wa kidini wa kutoa maoni yao waone kama ni wameegemea mrengo. Hapana, wao ndio wanaostahiki kutoa mwongozo wa maisha ya kidunia na ya milele.
Anapiga watoto wetu risasi kama wanyama. Hiyo ni masaka ya Kenya. Hiyo ameanza masaka Kenya.
Tafadhali mtuue sisi wazee. Umetuachia nani? Sasa huyo kijana amekufa hapo. Mama yake amewaswa na nani? Kama baba yake. Akituua ataongoza nani? Shetani.
It cannot be a matter of killing. Huni mtoto wako analetwa kama maiti jioni. Huni ndugu yako analetwa jioni, utafanya nini?
Niko na ugonjwa, watu wa gunshots karibu 10 na askari wenzenu.
Ndio tutaua wengine wengi, enda chukua wengine. Sawa. Kutoka.
Basi utaua wengine wengi.
Okoa ila wengine.
All I have is support. All I have is support. All I have is support. Polisi ananichapa hivi nimefanya nini?
Man, come there do more, man. Come with it. What am I gonna tell your sister, man?
Ambia hao wengine wasonge kando, ni mimi na wewe mpaka mwisho. Ambia hao wengine wasonge kando, ni mimi na wewe mpaka mwisho. Ambia wengine wasonge kando, ni mimi na wewe mpaka mwisho. Ambia hao wengine wasonge kando, ni mimi na wewe, mimi na wewe tu.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
They're coming for you.
From Kenyans not being paid,
Standard Group Media, pay my money,
to Gen Z's be called names,
tuliitwa hadi dangerous criminals, tukaitwa thugs.
Are Kenyans tired? Online scammers on the rise.
Did you know you could still pay for something on delivery and still get scammed?
They're coming for you.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back Gen Zs and Kenyans at large to ShowNewTrend, and I'm your host of today. My name is Elvis Terry. We all know that corruption has been normalized in our motherland, in our country, Kenya, under our supreme leader, not Kim Jong-un, no, but under President William Ruto. Take a look at this police officer who is bluntly and openly taking bribes without shame.
Hiyo tu. Sasa nimepita na gari nyingine. Haina kazi gari siku hizi. Nakuuliza. Nimepita za KCT ile tiba. Ulikuwa na gari nyingine? Haina nyingine. Naona kanyanga barabara ya serikali bure. Angalia. Angalia mzee. Ndio huko. Sikia kwanza. Sikia nikwambie.
None of this corruption would have happened if the men and women in blue who they always protect us day and night will be given their rights and also paid what they rightfully deserve. The Gen Zs went to the street to fight not only for our great nation Kenya, but also for our police officers, but yet our supreme leader decided to call them goons and attack them and also degrade them. Listen to what our fellow Gen Z had to say about this.
Tuliitwa hadi dangerous criminals, tukaitwa thugs, wakapewa watu wa pikipiki pesa waende wakitupiga kwa barabara, wakapewa watu wengine pesa waende wakiloot maduka za watu, ndio iambio ni Gen Zs. Nao saa hii waliamka kufanya maandamano saa 8 za usiku ati soko inaibiwa, sijui gavana mgani anataka sijui kufanya nini kwa soko. Hao wenye walibeba mabana, wacheni wazazi wafanye kazi. This country will be run by you. Who do you think you are, guys? That's what they were saying. That's the message they were communicating. Now they wish Gen Zs were on that protest of today. They wish JKA ndo hiyo. They wish Gen Zs wako huko. Guys, and the Russia ndo hiyo. They wish watoto wako Uganda, Sudan huko, boda huko, human trafficking.
During the Gen Z-led protests, you also saw the opposition leaders not only joining the government, but also going to bed and sleeping with the government. Morara Kebaso Sr., a Gen Z who is bringing significant change through civic education, had to say this. Listen.
Kumbuka tunaibiwa na kila mtu. Gava plus opposition. So kuna mtu unaweza trust out of all those people. They are all thieves and plunderers. Mimi nashindwa, why does William Ruto steal yet yeye ni president? Because una expect mtu akishakuwa president afai kuwa mwizi. But nikakuja kuelewa mission yao watu. Mission yao watu ni waibe pesa ya Kenya waipeleke abroad, waistore in dollars, wa make Kenya very poor, ndio warudishe ile do wanunue kila kitu, wa own the means of production na wa own economy. They own all the banks, they own all the ports, they own all the airports, they own all the railway lines, so that tukue slaves in our own country, tu wawakie wao kwa kama kingdom, kama empire, ndio wakuende sasa hakuna haja elections. They hand it over to their sons to their sons, evil. That's their mission. Kitu imefanya wakashindwa kuiachieve ni juu ya mimi na wewe. Sasa kitu nafuu ujue, wewe mwenye unanisikiza hapo on social media, on Facebook, on TikTok, on Twitter. Sisi wenye tuko upstairs, tuko fiti, tushafunguka macho, tunajua mahali Kenya inaelekea na tunajaribu kuisave. We are the minority.
Moving on to the next video. Kenyans, what happens if your leaders and your seniors are corrupt to the core? Even the people working under them, even in the lowest ranks, they will be corrupt and they will be no different from them and the people above. Take a look at this video of this man who had to protect himself from an armed man who is alleged police officer, and just look at how things unfolded. The silence of the Gen Z does not mean that the war is over. We are still here and we're here to stay humundu humundu. Listen to what the Village 254 had to say about the president giving the Gen Z, I don't know, the right information. Listen.
President William Ruto, this is what he said yesterday. He said that the Gen Zs were in the streets because they did not have the right information. Once they got the right information, they stopped demonstrations. So, Gen Zs, the president believes that you went to street because you are stupid. But since he was so wise, he convinced you with his information. He gave you the raw information. Once you understood the information, because he's a very good communicator, you stopped going to the streets and you kept quiet. So what is keeping you quiet, Gen Z, is because now you understand the right information. And therefore, misinformation finished. You are now fine. And that's why you are so civil. No demonstrations. Congratulations, Gen Zs. And this thanks goes to the president for being so wise and very eloquent in communication. And that's why he's going around the country communicating what his government is doing and why raising taxes is good for you. So congratulations, Gen Z.
Dear Mr. President, I, Elvis Derry, the Gen Z Minister of Information, I can proudly say that we are a generation who are well-informed and highly educated, and we know exactly what is happening in this country. I want to give a big shout out to all the men and women who are on the ground amplifying civic education and teaching Kenyans on why we need good governance and why this country has to change. So, the Gen Z are never stupid and never will be stupid. Remember, these are the same people who forced you also to reject the Finance Bill 2024.
So, congratulations, Gen Z.
Let us take a short break. We're going to be right back. Yeah, but so guys, right at Mwea area, you also have like a different kinds of unique transportation system, and I've just seen this amazing, transport system right here at Mwea area, and I would like to give it a try, man. So follow me.
Hello, Mwea area, how are you? I'm saying hi to you. Yes.
So you live around Mwea area?
Yes, I live in Mwea, around Mwea area. It's my place. Yes.
And I can say like Mwea area is well known for rice. There's plenty of rice in this area.
Yes, as per now we are harvesting. We are harvesting rice, and everybody is busy.
Okay, so what would you like to tell Kenyans this morning?
Okay, this morning I'd like to tell you to work hard, pray more, and fight for Kenya. Fight for a better Kenya. Kenya ni home.
Kenya ni home.
Kenya ni home.
Kenya ni home. Kenya ni nyumbani.
This man is awesome. Oh my God. Let's welcome Broski Elvis Derry.
By now, I know many of you are familiar with these words. Tumepanga, tumetenga, tutafanya. All Kenyans all over the world are familiar with those words. And I want to show you of this video of a Kenyan Gen Z who is enlightening us on how propaganda is being used in Kenyan politics.
Najua tunajiuliza mbona politicians wanapenda kusema uongo sana, na it's very sad because mbona mtu mkubwa udanganye na uwezi pigwa. So nikakumbuka kwa Eastern government walisemanga ati propaganda can be used to ascend to power. So inaweza tumika kuinfluence watu, either ikuwe right information ama wrong, watu wanaitumia to ascend into power. But saizi imeenda overboard, watu wanadanganya sana mpaka watu wamekasirika. Kwa hiyo mtaona watu wa Eastern government mkuje mniambie history, labda nimesahau ama nini. But watu wakubwa waache uongo. Uwezi pigwa, hakuna mtu anakupiga. We just held you accountable.
The same propaganda in politics has not only been used in this government but also in previous governments, and it has made many generations not to think big about themselves but to think less. Listen to this.
Hi Kenyans, I want you to think beyond unga. I want you to think beyond bei ya sukari. In as much as bei ya unga, bei ya sukari imeshuka, I want you to think beyond that. Kwa sababu huku nje hakuna kazi. You understand? Mtoto wako anakuja na kupea civil education, telling you about the government, how it's harassing and killing young men, young people. And you are saying, oh, unga bora imeshuka. Think beyond unga. You are the first people to call your kid. Niko na hospitali, sina madawa. Sina school fees ya mtoto wenyu, sina nini. Think beyond unga. Think beyond sukari. Think beyond anything that's revolving around food. In as much as your food imeshuka chini, vijana hawana kazi, vijana wanauawa. Mtoto wako anakupigia simu akiwa university hana chakula. Hiyo chakula yenye unasema imeshuka. Mtoto wako university sai hana hiyo school fees. Mtoto wako sai anarushiwa tear gas, anapigwa na makarau day in day out kwa sababu they don't want a new funding project. So if you don't come out with other parents, then stop thinking beyond unga, manze.
During the beginning of this video, I said this. We all know that corruption has been normalized in our motherland, in our country, Kenya. So if your leaders are corrupt, even the people will be corrupt. Take a look at this video on how online scammers are advancing day by day, thanks to being taught by the corrupt leaders of Kenya. Listen to this.
Guys, did you know you could still pay for something on delivery and still get scammed? Now skizeni hapa vile ina happen, huh? For you to understand this, assume kuna wewe, the buyer, is this scammer who is selling stuff online, and there is this real seller. So what happens is, the scammer an advertise product where the buyer unaipenda, for instance furniture, and you order from this scammer. So what the scammer tells you is that you're going to pay for this stuff on delivery. So si utakuwa sure ikifika ndo unalipa. So you go ahead, order. Then this scammer, what he does is contacts a real seller and gives this real seller an order and tells them deliver to this location. Hii location ni wewe yenye, ni ile location wewe umepatia huyo scammer. So the product is delivered to you na wewe utacontact ule scammer. Unamwambia mzigo umefika, how can I make this payment? Anakupatia details za payment na unalipa. After ushalipa, anazima simu, and now delivery guy wa the real seller ask you umelipa? Wewe unasema nishalipa. You confirm, na yeye delivery guy ana confirm with the real seller. Hasa hapo ndio kesi inaanzia, because the scammer hajalipa the real seller na ashakuletea product. So the real seller ana demand for his product na wewe uko hapo pia unasema ushalipa. So mko hapo in between, conflict yenye sijui hata inaweza isha lini.
Since Ruto got into power, he has been traveling every day to different countries. And the question is he gathering for the storm? Listen to what our Kenyan Gen Z had to say about our shore of flying, lying, and stealing, and also, of course, killing. Listen to this.
Ruto is not traveling abroad because he likes flying. Our shore for flying, lying, stealing, and killing. No. He's traveling because he is gathering for the storm that is about to be the kind of dictatorship that we are going to experience under this guy. He is locking in. So Ruto received an achievement award that was given to him as the most accountable, transparent, and there was a third thing, president. They called him everything that we know he's not, and they know he's not. Why Ruto is being given all of these things is to manufacture the kind of consent that is needed for him to run a dictatorship. So Kenyans, he's been traveling to countries like Germany. He's been with the Israelis. And can you see the things that he's given back? The other time that he traveled, when he came back and he told us the 15 things that he was given, do you know, almost 10 of those 15 things were arms? They were arms. They were given a truck. That is not for the army, it's for the police. He's militarizing the police because the police will be the people who are here every day, hunting us down, beating us up for any kind of dissent against this man. I don't even think we're going to get to the 2027 elections.
It's only fools who oppress their fellow citizens, because at the end of the day, we are still being oppressed under the same corrupt regime. We are tribeless, leaderless, and fearless. And I'm happy how Kenyans are coming out and actually speaking out not only about the corrupt government, but also corrupt companies who are taking advantage and not paying their workers properly. Listen to this video about Standard Media Group.
Hizi kampuni unafanya kazi alafu ikifika time ya kulipa, mbona tunasumbuana? Standard Group Media, pay my money. Nilipeni. Why are you guys making us suffer? Your excuse has always been, hatuna pesa. Isi ni 1.5 billion mna receive hapo mkismile. Ziko wapi zangu? Mtaanza kusema pesa kidogo tunasumbuana, ni kidogo but ni zangu, I worked for that. Mnyonge lakini haki yake mpe. I want my money. Pay me what you owe me. First of all, let me just say, I don't like drama. You will never find me in drama social media. But I've been pushed. I could be minding my business side, just sipping wine and sitting somewhere. But you guys are pushing me. It's either you pay us, ama juu tuko wengi sana, you owe us. Tuungane wote twende tuandamane Standard Group Media na Duve, tulale huko hadi mtulipe. We will occupy that standard. Pay us our money, Standard.
So to the Standard Media Group, if you're watching this video, we are the Gen Zs, we are going to occupy that place if you don't pay our sister and not pay the people who are working there. And let me tell you, you will not believe. You will not believe.
Standard Group Media, pay my money. Nilipeni. Why are you guys making us suffer? Your excuse has always been, hatuna pesa. Isi ni 1.5 billion mna receive hapo mkismile. Ziko wapi zangu?
We are not cooling down any soon. In fact, it might get hotter.
I am telling you, and I'm not kidding you guys. I just feel Mandamano is calling me by my three names. Literally. Tell me why Mr. Must Go must keep on lying. You're even lying at utatupeleka Germany. And even Germany inajitoa kwa hiyo story. Come on. I just feel Mandamano is literally calling me and you by our third name. Things are boiling. Things are really boiling. I'm just so done with that guy.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
They're coming for you.
Oh, he didn't say that. Elvis did. From Kenyans reacting to Farah Maalim.
You are an idiot of the highest order. You are a murderer.
To joblessness in the city.
People should not be sleeping at 10:30 a.m. in the garden.
Will next elections get rigged?
Kenya hakuna rais ameenda kwa miaka 5. Kwani huyu ndiye atakuwa wa kwanza?
How indisciplined are the youths?
Who exactly has the bar to say, or the standard to say, that we are being indisciplined?
We are coming for you.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to ShowNewTrend. I'm Mr. Today and my name is Elvis Deri. Kenyans, do you remember this video of Farah Maalim abusing you?
Alafu washenzi wengine wanasema ati Kasongo Ruto must go. Kwa nini zenu hao ambao wanasema hivyo? Kwani amekaa kwa kiti ya mama yako ama baba yako?
After this video of Farah Maalim abusing Kenyan people circulated on the internet, the people never kept quiet. The people were angry but never silent. Just listen to this.
Yani nikikaa nikifikiria nikikumbuka tu Farah Maalim alitutukana tu kumanina zenu. Nasikia tu kumshika hivi Farah Maalim. Because you know what? The first 4 letters of that kumanina means vagina. And the second 4 letters of that word means mother. In our Swahili language. You get? So hata hajatutukana sisi. Hajatutukana sisi, ametutukania mama zetu. That what Farah Maalim. Yani hivyo ndio Farah Maalim alifanya. And then, yani mtu mzima na akili zake, kiongozi mzima wa Kenya amesimama mbele ya umati, mbele ya watu, mbele ya viongozi wengine kututukana tu kumanina zenu. Na hakuna kiongozi ambaye ameongelelea hilo swala. Hakuna kiongozi ambaye amesema ni makosa. Hakuna kiongozi yote ambaye amesimama kwenye stage akasema what Farah Maalim did was actually very wrong. Lakini ingekuwa nimefanya mimi Mkenya tu ambaye sina lolote, sina chochote, ama angekuwa amefanya Mkenya mwingine, angekuwa ametafutwa na DCI, angekuwa ametafutwa na polisi, angekuwa ametafutwa na kila mtu, akashikwa akakuwa abducted. Lakini kwa vile ni MP Farah Maalim, nothing has been done. Alafu nyinyi viongozi mnataka sisi tuwaheshimu. Tunawaheshimuje nyinyi ikiwa nyinyi wenyewe hamtuheshimu?
Even the former deputy president of Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua, he came and said that the president laughs anytime a politician abuses Kenyans because he's the one who sends them. Let's listen to what Rigathi Gachagua had to say.
Wacha nikwambie Meja Dom, usikashifu hawa viongozi. Najua mimi nimekaa na rais sana. Mimi namjua. Ukiona hao wajumbe wakitukanana, ukimwangalia anacheka. Anakuanga yeye ndiye amewatuma. Si mimi namjua? Yeah, I know him. If you check when they are abusing people, wakitukana anatembea kama umemwangalia hapo nyuma, alikuwa anapiga mguu namna hii.
Even Eric Omondi, the president of Comedy in Africa and an activist, he came and said this.
Farah Maalim, wewe ni fala. Wewe ni fala, una akili. Wananikasirisha, ni mpumbavu. He's stupid. He's an idiot. How can you go to a microphone like this? You are not even a parent. You are not a human being. You are a demon. This is what happened in Rwanda. You are very stupid, Mr. Farah. Wacha nikutukane because you deserve it. You are idiotic. You are nonsensical. You are a murderer. You do not deserve to be a leader. By all means, Farah Maalim. I was shaking. I don't understand how you are still in office. You need to resign. It is going to be very bad for him. I just lost. You are a fool. If I met you, I would go to jail. I would punch you so hard. I don't know if you have children. We are all humans, and God. You are an idiot of the highest order. You are a murderer. You. If I were you, I would leave this country for at least 20 years. You are an idiot, and if I meet you, I will beat you. You deserve a punch on the nose. Farah Maalim, please resign today. I'm advising you. Do not wait for us to come for you. It will be ugly. Cool our tempers by resigning. Farah Maalim, do not attempt to go back to the building that is the Parliament of the Republic of Kenya. I repeat, Farah Maalim, stay in your house. I dare you to get into your car and attempt, don't even do, to go to the Kenyan Parliament. Try.
Even a fellow politician was not happy with the Dadaab Member of Parliament, Farah Maalim's statement, abusing Kenyans publicly. Just listen to what this politician had to say.
Jana niliona mzee, nilikuwa nasoma nikiwa mtoto mdogo, anaitwa Farah Maalim, akiongea vitu zenye hata zieleweki. Lakini Waswahili wanasema usione mvi kwa kichwa mtu kadhani ni hekima, wajinga pia wanazeeka. Na Farah tu ni Farah tu. Hawezi ongea hivyo wakati nchi yetu imefika hapa. But we shall teach you a lesson. Na watu wanasema mambo ya mulima. Kenya mzima vijana wote wamekasirika. Wamama wamekasirika, wazee wamekasirika. Wacha kusema mambo ya mlima. Wewe utaona moto 2027 ndio utajua hii Kenya ni ya mama zetu. Asanteni sana na gayomo ya muradhi.
To be honest, instead of these politicians working for the people who voted for them, they are busy moving around Kenya in rallies, just talking nonsense and abusing the Kenyan people. Like Kenyans, must you go and listen to what they have to say? If you see them, just ignore them and continue minding your own business.
Alafu washenzi wengine wanasema ati Kasongo, Ruto must go. Kwa nina zenu hao ambao wanasema hivyo? Kwani amekaa kwa kiti ya mama yako ama baba yako?
Truly, Farah Maalim is a shame. He's a shame to the political class. Like those people who voted for him, that people, like what are you thinking voting for Farah Maalim? Anyway, let's continue. In Lebanon, our people, our Kenyan people are still stranded there since the war started in October 2024. Like the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, they went there to start the eviction process, but they never finished what they started. And our people are still stranded there, still suffering there in these times of war. Just take a look at how our people are surviving. The ministry didn't finish the eviction process, and our Kenyans, our own people, they're stranded in Lebanon in shelters. There's no work, no money, no communications for 3 good months. And those shelters were opened because of the war, and currently they're being closed down. We are in the year 2025. And where will our people go? Where will our Kenyans live and stay? Will they be sleeping in the streets of Lebanon? Just listen to what Dr. Mambe Serikali had to say about how many Kenyans are stuck in Lebanon.
Family, 26,000 Kenyans, actually more than 26,000 Kenyans are stranded in Lebanon. And you know, Israel has been ninnying Lebanon like crazy. Even the Lebanese themselves have been trying to leave Lebanon. There's been long queues of cars. Guys have been appealing, the families of those guys have been appealing to the government. The government is silent, they're just joyriding in New York. But no word. They're saying that the embassy, the Kenyan embassy in Lebanon is not helping guys. Is it because these are the Watus? Is it because mainly they're maids and all these things? Why is the government so silent? Anyway, family, I've been talking about this a lot on my YouTube channel. It's time to come home. As we're fixing our country, it's also time to come home because the world's about to get crazy.
The number could be even more higher than that. Take a look at some of these videos of how our Kenyans are surviving in Lebanon.
Wametulipua. Siwezi toka dadangu mpaka wakuja wanitoe. Hii ndio situation hapa sasa hivi naongea na wewe. Nyumba inaenda chini. Mimi niko siwezi toka. Sijui venye nitatoka nje kuna waka moto.
Akiwa leo siku za Lebanon, aki tunakufa hivi ndio tunakufa.
Acha nimeendea bishti yangu. Oh God. Narusha bomu. Mungu tusaidie. Mwadhani, acha niwaonyeshe. Na nimeendea bishti yangu. Wanalia huko. Jesus, please God. Please God, please. God, please. Guy, mwadhani, watu wanapiga nduru. Hivi ndio tunakufa.
Apart from our people, Kenyans, being stuck in Lebanon, in Kenya, their own country, things are even more worse. It feels more like the government has declared a cold war against its own people. Like yearly, we have influx of graduates, high demand of job opportunities, but there's none. And this has led to our youths, our young people of this country, being depressed, being suicidal, early pregnancies, drug abuse, and so much more. Just take a look at this.
I took these videos at Jivanji Gardens at 10:30 a.m. Yes, 10:30 a.m. There's people sleeping in the gardens early morning. Okay? This shows there's something very wrong somewhere. Either it's unemployment or it's homelessness. But either way, people should not be sleeping at 10:30 a.m. in the garden. It's not right. Okay? So, please, can we create a good life for our people? These people deserve jobs, you know. They should be working in factories or businesses or whatever, not sleeping here early morning. This is not right. So please, my people, no one is coming to fix us. Let us fix ourselves. Let us get these people some decent form of employment or something. Let's work hard to make a better country and eventually a better continent.
The late president of Kenya, Mwai Kibaki, he never supported sending our people to foreign countries to go and work there, to go and die there, to go and get mistreated there. But he advocated for creating opportunities here in Kenya. Just listen to what he had to say. Putting politics aside and serving the people of Kenya, working for the people who voted for them. They're busy playing politics, going around in rallies all the time. And even some of them are planning on how they're going to be rigging the 27 elections. Just listen to what Osa Sudi had to say about this.
Kenya hakuna rais ameenda kwa miaka 5. Kwani huyu ndiye atakuwa wa kwanza? Kama tunafanya nini? Kama tumelala wapi? Kama nini imefanyika? Kwani Kenya ni yenu? Mjue na mjue William Ruto aende mahali. Makawas. Hapo ndo manyigura ile kinyiti.
One thing that I love about Kenya right now, currently, is that there's nothing like tribal divisions. Tribalism is something of the past. And currently, Kenyans are more united than ever. They're more patriotic than ever. 2027 elections is going to be hot, and it's just around the corner. And this government, they're very scared of the unity that Kenyans have right now. And they're going to do everything in their power to clinch onto that seat. But the question is, with all this unity that the Kenyan people have, and all this patriotism, will they succeed? Will they manage to run the government again? Listen to what Wood Kano had to say.
Nataka kuwatabiria hii na inaenda kufanyika. 2027 January hapo February tutakuwa tunaelekea uchaguzi. Na wanaenda kununua tear gas mingi sana. Wanaenda kununua rubber bullets mingi sana. Hata the real ones watanunua mingi sana. Na wanaenda kununua water cannons mingi sana. Wanaenda kununua gari za polisi, hizi Mariamu, zile lori mingi sana. Wanaenda kununua farasi mingi sana. Wanaenda kununua rungu mingi sana. Wanaenda kununua vitu mingi sana ya kudeal na mwananchi. Wajua kwa nini? Raundi hii Mkenya aende kupangwa kulingana na kabila. Ati sisi kama jamii tunasikiza kingpin wetu anasema nini? No. Na maskini ameamka. 2027 inaenda kudecide. The few watabaki wakinunua belt za 200,000, viatu za 1 million, chopper, mansions, the few. Wale wachache. Alafu wanakuja kuturingia. Mtu amevaa saa ya 1 million, alafu anaongea na kiburi tena ndani ya kanisa. For the first time ukiangalia hata kanisa yenyewe inarudisha sadaka. People have woken up. Na wamejua tumeamka. Mpango ya kukatalia kiti, kwanza ile ya juu. Wacha nicheke kwa sababu mimi niko huku kwa ground na walala hoi na wasikia vile wanaongea. Hii kura inakuja 2027. Whether mtengeze IBC ama mkatai kutengeza, watu wanaenda nyumbani.
Even Dini Nyoro asked these politicians to stop wasting and misusing public time. Just listen to this.
You must stop misusing public time with nonsense. Hawa wananchi wa Kenya sio wajinga.
So many corrupt politicians have been exposed with time, and so many ghost projects have also been exposed thanks to the vampire diaries of Malala Kebaso and many other Kenyans who have also taken part in it. So Kenyans, do you think that these corrupt politicians and anybody who has ever worked in the government office and has a history of corruption, do you think that they should be charged and jailed? Just listen to what Karanja Kibuku had to say.
Wazito, the pressure is increasing. Ukiona watu wanabweka, watu kama Kemanongo, Faramalim, and all those crooks around Ruto, when you see them backing as harshly as they are, then you know we're getting somewhere. They're backing from a position of fear. Tunashinda. Hawa watu lazima waishie prison. Hawa watu tunataka wote ikifika 2027 wakue wako Kamete prison. Na kama sio Kamete, ICC. On that note, by the way, kuna shughuli hapa inahitaji Mbogi. Email ndio hii. Nataka tuanze kutuma emails kwa hiyo address, highlighting all the ills, all the evils, all the wicked things these people are doing to our people, to our children, abductions, forced appearances, crimes against humanity. Let's do this. I got you. We've got Kenya. God bless us all. Cheers.
When we talk about integrity, then Peter Mbaye is a man of integrity. He was the head of government delivery service, but he resigned, saying that you cannot achieve development in a toxic political environment, adding that toxicity cannot go hand in hand with service delivery. Just listen to what he had to say.
One of the issues that came up, I was there, I've been appointed, and I went to my seniors and I told them this is how we want to structure delivery in the Republic of Kenya. Because we discovered there are so many offices, so many centers doing the same thing. And they said it's not possible. Because not unless we want to do this so that every office can feel they are doing something to please the head of state. I said, can we help the president in a better way? Can we corrupt all these small things, like 5 or 6, into one? I have the people, we're able to work so that we can deliver. Now, a lot of what I proposed was not done. There is a lot of structural issues, many issues about, you're supposed to work, what happens, the issue of the working issues and other issues. In short, there's been a lot of frustrations, and I don't want my name. I have a history, I have a record where I've come from for the last 10, 20 years, where I've worked before in my county of Nakuru, what I've done. I don't want to come and mess it here because I got a job. If the work cannot be done, I don't want to be associated. Because what will happen, one day somebody will ask me, why didn't you deliver? Then I'll say I had issues. They will ask me, why didn't you say then? Why now? Then something will happen, everybody will go, it will be said that the guy who is head of GDS is this one. I better speak early today to say, I don't think the kind of how the government tracking delivery work is being done is going to produce the results that we promised Kenyans. That is what I think.
George Ruto, who is also the president's son, he owns matatus within Nairobi city. And let me tell you Kenyans, these matatus are being driven recklessly on our roads. and they are breaking traffic laws, but yet the people are still boarding these matatus. Why, Kenyans? Why? Like, this can even cost you your own lives because of how they're driving on the roads. Just listen to this.
What is wrong with you? Mnapanda manifest kwa nini? Kwa nini mnapea hiyo matatu biz? Mnajua vile ina harass the rest of the PSVs kwa hiyo stage yenu. Mnajua vile inafanyia hao matatu zingine. And then mnakuja mnapanda na hauko sure kama utafika, because you can be, unaweza jipata uko heaven. Burnt offerings. You can be burnt offerings. And then unaenda unapanda, oh, it is the coolest matatu. Guys, please, mnajua ni ya nani? You know whose son hizo matatu ni za nani? Zina overtake vile zinajisikia. Hata hazitaki kujua kama the next cars ziko na watu. Hazitaki kujua kama watoto wako anywhere near the roads. Barabara ni yao, inchi ni yao. No, hii inchi ni yetu, ni yetu. It is ours. Si ya mtu, hata mimi si yangu, ni yetu. Kenyans, us, not me, not you, us. So before Ruto akuje ambia wazazi wetu vile they have done a horrible job in raising us, we are so disrespectful, you have done a horrible job in raising your children.
Kenyans, if you ask yourselves, what is the meaning of education? I would say that education is the cornerstone of any nation's progress. But currently, Kenyans, it seems like the government is trying so hard and very determined to sabotage the future generations by crippling the education sector. This is what Honorable Evans Willis Otieno had to say.
Today, we have a situation where students who are supposed to be joining grade 9.
Grade 9, yes.
Nobody even knows where they're supposed to go.
Even their results.
Even their results is still a problem.
Yes.
And remember last year in November, the PS education had said they are putting up 11,000 primary school blocks.
Yes.
To accommodate those who are going to join grade 9. Today, there's no
classes,
no classroom, there's no infrastructure in this case.
Yeah.
These people are trying to mess up a generation. Because once you want to kill a country, you don't have to drop a nuclear bomb. You just mess up its education system. Then you'll have killed that entire generation. Because when those people grow up, they will not have learned. They will be zombies. So these people are just really committing an economic genocide on the people of Kenya. They're killing the entire nation of Kenya when you mess up the education system. And we must call out the Ministry of Education. If they are not ready for CBC, they should own up and do the right thing. But we cannot have a situation where our kids are exposed to an uncertain learning environment. We have to call them out and demand better for our kids.
Sometimes in politics, betrayal is always constant. It's no different from saying that kugongewa ni constant. Brian Weke believes that those people who are surrounding the president, President William Ruto, those are the first people that will send him back home in the coming elections 27. This is what Brian Weke had to say.
William Ruto akifanya saa hii opinion poll ya ukweli. Watu wa mdomo mbaya kama Kimani Ichung'wah. Kimani Ichung'wah amekosea mheshimiwa rais. Kura ya Central imeenda. Sasa mahali William Ruto anaweza saidika ni Nyanza, Western, Coast, Ukambani na Northeastern. Saa hii tena umetuma Kimani Ichung'wah akatukane Waluya kwao. Bravo Lolo. Sasa unasaidika ama usaidiki? Naona watu wengine kama huyu Kamket. Atanasema ati watu wakicheza William Ruto atatakaa 24 years. Unajua sometimes I ask myself, hao watu ni kujenga wanajenga ama ni kubomoa wanabomoa? Mheshimiwa Rais anafaa ajipige msasa. Ajiulize hao watu ambao wanamfuata. Are they with me ama wanamharibia?
Kweli.
Bravo Lolo. Because Kenyans mambo yao ni simple sana. William Ruto has to
pesa mfukoni, tax breaks umesema, jobs, mausami barabara.
Ni kazi rahisi sana Bravo Lolo. Saa hii wameongeza bei ya school fee. Ya ma university. Ukiangalia ile mimi nyakati ya Uhuru Kenyatta, nilikwambia mtoto wangu anafanya law hapa Catholic University. Nalipa 30,000. Anko yangu mtoto wake anafanya mechanical engineering hapa TUK. Analipa 90,000. Na asije kwa bande ngapi? Na hii pesa ambayo ameongeza lecturers hawalipwi. Sasa lecturers wanasema hii funding model ambayo iko na hii ya kulipa school fee na nini, na sisi hatulipwi Bramololo, inaenda wapi?
Waziri
Mr. William Samoei Ruto, abandon hii project ya kutengeza manyumba. Tengeza manyumba Nairobi, maliza hii maslam huko kwingine Oshago, tuachie sisi, tuko na manyumba zetu, tuko sawa.
Currently, we know that the former Prime Minister of Kenya, Raila Amolo Odinga, is fighting to get the AU seat. But it's quite clear that the Kenyan people are not on his side. And even his own supporters have started to question him. Just listen to this.
If he loses and comes back, what will the comeback of Raila have in the political space?
It'll be different. This is the first time when people are questioning him. Even his own supporters are questioning him. There were times when they used to say Raila Baba, Raila Mwana, Raila Roho Mtakatifu. And they used to do everything he said and in the way he said it at the time he said it. Right now I am seeing young people even in Bunge la Mwananchi coming out there because I watch their proceedings. People may want to trivialize that thing, but it has its own followers. And they are saying, Baba, you shouldn't have led us to Ruto. I saw people who have supported him, like a young man who attended the anti-femicide demonstrations, and he was chased away just for following Baba.
While Raila Odinga is still fighting for the AU seat, Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, he came out with a very shocking statement. Like Kenyans, corruption in Kenya is real. It's real. Like I was just speechless to hear this statement, and I don't want to talk too much about this. Just listen to this.
Mimi kwa miaka rais wetu Ruto ni kama baba yangu kimiaka. Na kwa hivyo mimi namheshimu sana kama rais wa Kenya. Mimi ile course nimesomea katika university ni course ya economics. Na hii nchi ya Kenya iko pahali pabaya. Hii muhura tumekopa pesa 7.2 trillion Kenya shillings. Tukifanya hesabu ya hiyo pesa kuongea ukweli, huwezi ona hiyo pesa imeenda wapi. Kwa sababu hiyo pesa kidogo tu unaweza kuwa umeweka barabara yote ya Kenya over 20,000 rami, that is around 1.2 trillion. Unaweza kuwa umeweka boma zote maji at 50,000 at 10,000 households, that is 500 billion. Kuweka stima at 10,000 households at 35,000, that is 350 billion. Ukiongeza zote hata kujenga a level 5 hospital in every constituency, a university of 1 billion in every constituency, hiyo pesa haifiki 3 billion. Na hiyo kusema hiyo, hakuna mtu tunatukana, tunasema tu kwenye tunataka Kenya iende mbele.
Educated young people of Kenya, the Gen Zs, they have been holding the government accountable, monitoring the government's every move they take. But it clearly seems like some politicians in the government, they're not happy with this, to the point where they're calling the young people names, they're insulting the Gen Zs. And they're forgetting that in the Kenyan Constitution, Article 33, it clearly upholds freedom of expression. So Kenyans, are the young people, the Gen Zs, in discipline or not? Listen to this.
Are the young people in discipline?
When they are not, and I want to agree with her when we are asking who exactly has the bar to say, or the standard to say that we are being indisciplined. And the DP starts by saying that we need mentorship. And I want to look at who are our mentors. Is he and Joho supposed to be our mentors? How can they show us what vice is and then demand virtue from us? It is impossible. The young people are a result of the general society and the community. And so if the young people are indisciplined, it is a very clear mirror of what the society is, because basically it is monkey see and monkey do. And so we are just doing what they have taught us to do well. It is wrong to say that we are indisciplined, because truly when we agree with what they are saying, that is when we are being called disciplined. When we cheer for them and say, miaka ingine tano for our president, that is being disciplined. But when we say this is wrong and we stand our ground, it becomes a problem to them. And then that is when they are redefining discipline into indiscipline. The young people went to the streets in June and they were killed. They did what was constitutionally right. And so the protest morphed into an online one where they believed, or where we believed, that we won't be touchable. But then we see that young people from the silhouettes. And again, I want to say that that man in the casket is just an old man. Our president is very much alive, and he has proved it over and over again. And so I don't know why the head of the country is reacting to pictures of an old man in a casket, of silhouettes. How does he know how his shadow looks like? And why is he reacting as the head of the country? It is so uncouth and very unsettling to us. And if we are supposed to follow what is discipline, then we are not ready to be disciplined as the young people. We are very ready to be indisciplined, because this country, if we go the way we are going, we won't have a future for us and our children. And so the government should be ready that we will continue to be indisciplined if that is their definition of indiscipline. Yes,
all right. That's an interesting perspective coming from the Reverend. Okay, let's...
Even the politicians, including the President William Ruto, is pushing the parents to discipline their children, fighting for good governance. But let me tell you, the parents are not taking none of that nonsense. And just take a look at some of these scenes where the parents and the children are having a good time. This is the Kenya we want. We don't want any kind of enmity between our parents.
A birthday gift to my dad.
Another primitive politician is the Dagoretti North Member of Parliament, Beatrice Elachi, a clueless sycophant. She came out and said that if you believe Kenya is a bad country, then leave. Like, seriously? This is what the Village 254 had to say about this.
Kenya is a beautiful country. Kenya is a good country. A country is as good as its leadership. When the leadership is bad, it doesn't mean the country is bad. It just means we must remove that leadership. That's why we have elections every 5 years. What's wrong with you, Miss Elachi? What is wrong with you? What's so difficult to understand? Yani umeenda shule lakini una reason ni kama mtu wako enda shule. What is wrong with you? Tuondoka Kenya. Nyinyi wanasiasa ndio mnatoka Kenya mnaenda. We will push you out. What do you mean? What is wrong with you? Kenya, nyinyi ndio mtatoka. That's why we remove leadership every 5 years. Because when you have a bad leadership, you remove them every 5 years. Get out of this country. Enda mahali unajua.
Betrayal in the city. Kasamal Makore. He betrayed the Gen Zs. He betrayed the Kenyan people who are fighting for better governance. During the protests, the people are there to protect him and support him. But he went on and turned his back towards the people. He went to join the other team. But currently it seems like even the other team is not very interested with Kasamal Makore. Like Kasamal Makore found himself in the list, but not in the list that he was expecting. Just listen to this.
Kasmola ameona list imetoka ya watu wanapatiwa job na Kasongo, watu wale wamelistiwa. Kasmola kaangalia jina yake kwa hiyo list, Kasmola honi jina yake. Kasmola kapigia Raila na watu wa ODM. Hello baba, baba sioni jina yangu kwa list. Na mulini promise kazi baba. Nilisaliti movement baba. Kasmola, jina yako iko hapo kwa list, angalia vizuri. Jina yako iko hapo Kasmola, angalia vizuri. Kasmola anamwambia, baba sioni niko na hiyo list. Over 20 people, but baba I'm not there. Kasmola, jina yako iko list. Baba list gani? Baba anambia Kasmola, jina yako iko list ya watu wa kucheza praise and worship kwa status. Unajua Kasmola, you are not a politician, you are an instrumentalist. Sasa wewe huko jina yako kwa list, utakuwa na kuja status kama kuna wageni, unashika keyboard pale, unaimbia Kasongo na watu wageni wimbo za praise and worship na zile ngoma zako. Na Kasmall ukikuja State House, make sure umeprintisha CD, utauza CD. Kasmall anajama anaambia baba nilikimbia ati ile siku ya maandamano. Kasmall alikimbia hadi ile suti yake special. Hata hiyo suti haikuwa yake, alikuwa mambango yake. Vile aliruka pale Nation Center iliruka haga.
Kasmall always say that he will do anything to get power. But currently, the only power that he will be getting is playing the keyboard for those who are in power. Currently, some rogue politicians are talking about how they are going to be rigging the 27 elections. But do you think that this will happen? Listen to this.
Kazi ya kushinda ukipiga kelele vile mta extend the term ya president to 24 years. Extend it. Lakini sisi tunakuomba kamketi, before you extend the term limit to 24 years, kwanza muangalie kwanza rais mwenyewe anaweza stahimili kukuwa rais for 24 years. Juu president aliingia hapo akiwa na afya mzuri, amenona vizuri, akiwa mzima wa afya. Sasa tukiangalia rais kisoko imetoka nje, nywele imeng'oka, amekonda, hatujui shida nini nakula rais. Sasa kwanza inafaa tushughulikie afya ya rais arudi vile anafaa kuwa. Our president is not healthy, yet you want to extend the term of the president to 24 years. Please, wewe bwana kamketi. Kwanza tuangalie afya ya rais ndio tufikirie mambo ya kuextend term limit to 24 years. Mnanipata hapo? So kamketi, hatuna shida ukitaka kuextend your term limit to 24 years. Lakini bora election isikose kwa 2027. Nyinyi wekeni term limit to 24 years, but wewe weka election to 2027. Alafu tuonyeshe vile kunaendanga, Mapema saa mbili hivi hiyo 24 years mnaongea, tutakuwa tumepatia rais mwingine akayo 24 years. Lakini William Ruto 5 years na mtosha Sugoi Express.
The Kenya Kwanza regime portrays itself as very religious, going to all these churches and donating huge amounts of money. But do you think there's more to that? Do you think that this is just another case of a hyena wearing the sheep's skin? Do you think so? Just listen to what Eska Urunga had to say about Freemasonry in Kenya.
For any unbeliever, go and Google Ali Bongo. Yeah, Kenyans, I want Kenyans to open their eyes and see how this country is really run. Google Ali Bongo and go into churchofsatanism.com. Under the website, Church of Satanism. If you have the guts.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah, you are? Good. I hope everybody does it. churchofsatanism.com. Go under History, Media Circus, yeah, and go under 582, type in a code, 582/KE. In there you will find a name of one of Wilson's very close business associates. Somebody who
we all know?
Yes, associated with True Black Company.
Wow.
I'll leave that for you. So that, I started doing investigations into Wilson because I thought, is this guy a human trafficker, killer? What is he? And then I came across this Freemason information and I unearthed so much stuff. And that is why they are so angry. They're so angry. I have content and I have many more names.
Okay, is it true that somebody was planning to kill you not too long ago?
That is true. If you have this information, they would be planning to kill you as well. They failed.
How?
They sent gunmen. I was supposed to have a car accident. Yeah.
We listen but we don't judge.
Nimepepa pesa milioni 300 ya kulipa wakulima.
We listen but we don't judge.
Kufika jioni leo, kila mkulima atakuwa amelipwa pesa yake.
We listen but we don't judge.
Pesa karibu shilingi bilioni 1 inapatikana kila siku kutokana na biashara ya bodaboda.
We listen but we don't judge.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
They're coming for you.
From George Ruto matatus impounded. To wife's knife attack. Who is St. Anne's Girls Principal? Kimanel Primary School students occupy.
Where?
They're coming for you.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to ShowNewTrend. I'm your host of the day and my name is Elvis Derry. In Greenfield Estate, drama unfolded where a woman stabbed her husband. Then she went ahead to set the house on fire while they are still both inside the house. Just take a look at how things unfolded.
Ameenda kwa usi na makara. Udema ametoka. Udema ametoka. Ametoka usi lingine. Usi atasalimiwa. Lazima asalimiwe huyo.
This photo that you see here, this is the man after the incident. Luckily, he survived. And another video surfaced online where a man shared a video of his wife stabbing him and attacking him with a knife. Take a look.
Na nikichukua usicomplain. Usitendida. Okay, you say I'm bleeding. So if I attack you, it's a self-defense. So anything I do, self-defense. Okay. Ni vizuri. Inaonekana mimi nataka hivi ndio nikifanya against react kwa ndio ni self-defense. Okay. Okay. Continue. Wewe unasema kitu watu tuongee.
Apart from these Kenyan wives going nuts, students from St. Anne's Girls, they were locked and left stranded outside the gate by their principal, Veronica Muli, after these students failed to pay their school fees. Just take a look.
So, mimi mtu anajiingililia ama kila mtu. So like sisi hapa kutoka asubuhi saa 4. Tumelipa school pass nusu. Na dio niingia shule. So na kwetu ni mbali. Mimi nimetoka Kiseri wewe Mombasa. So like wanataka tulipe fees yote 26 CGK. Lakini ukilipa nusu bado utaingia. Like so what's the point? Nje tumelipa nusu. Na tunalala kwa tumekaa nje.
After this incident trended on social media, the public, the Kenyan people, parents and the Gen Zs, they were not happy with St. Anne's Girls Principal, Veronica Muli. Let's take a look at this video of the principal hiding from her heinous deeds. What a shame. What a big shame to this principal, Veronica Muli.
Nimekaa hapa kutoka asubuhi saa 4. Nimelipa school pass buku. Na ndio niingia shule. Na kwetu ni mbali.
Even Gen Alpha are not left behind. In Eldoret, Kimalel Primary School, the students there decided to inject where they chased away Rai manager over land grabbing and tilling of their school playground. Just take a look at how these Gen Alphas injected.
Wewe! Hey! Si wanafunzi wataua hiyo jamaa wa Rai.
This clearly shows you that the pressure is increasing and no generation in this country called Kenya is going to be taken for granted.
Wewe! Hey! Si wanafunzi wataua hiyo jamaa wa Rai.
Another incident occurred at Price Chopper Supermarket in Lucky Summers, where police were forced to disperse a crowd of angry residents demanding justice after a thief was allegedly locked up and mistreated and reportedly mistreated for hours. Take a look. Some young students were forced to walk barefoot to school, learning under the scorching sun, and they had no books, no desks, nothing. But thanks to Team Sisi kwa Sisi, new classrooms were built, they got new uniforms, they got books, and they got everything that they need. Just listen to what Eric Omondi had to say.
Wanasoma kwa jua. Mwalimu utaona ile video tuliona, watoto wanaandika kwa mchanga. Nataka tuwajengee classes hata kama ni 3 ama 4, tuwatoe kwa jua, tusaidie mwalimu na vitu za kufundisha. But most importantly, nataka tubaie watoi, tuwabaie viatu. Ukiona mguu ndogo kama hii, mguu ndogo kama hii na kanyaga hapa, it's very hot, yeah, it's scorching, yeah. So we're going to get them shoes, we're going to get them uniform, because shule inafungua Monday. Na watoto pia ni wa Kenya, si ndio? Hao pia they deserve the opportunity that other children have in this country.
Just take a look at this video of these students, these young Kenyan students learning before Team Sisi kwa Sisi arrival. Billions and billions of shillings is being lost every day in this country called Kenya. But yet, the children of this country, the future generation of this country, they're learning under inhumane conditions. But thanks to Team Sisi kwa Sisi, they got everything they need just to learn in a comfortable environment. After this successful project, thanks to Team Sisi kwa Sisi giving these young children a new life, the Turkana Council of Elders, they came out to condemn Eric Omondi's actions, his projects. Let's listen to what this fool had to say.
Kuingia kwa kaunti ya Turkana bila kujulisha viongozi wa Turkana kama unaingia hapa kufanya maendeleo. Hatukatai maendeleo kama ilikuwa ni maendeleo, lakini tunakataa ukora. Sisi tunakataa ukora kwa sababu katika sheria ya watoto hauwezi piga mtoto ya mtu picha kama msasi wa huyo mtoto hajakubali kupigwa mtoto wake picha. Sisi tunalaani hayo mambo ambayo Eric Omondi alifanya kwa watoto wetu. Ni mzuri kutoa msaada, ndio inakubalika, lakini utoe kwa njia ambayo inahusisha kila mtu. Lakini kuingia kama mwizi, hiyo ni wizi, hiyo ni haramu, hiyo ni mambo ambayo haitakikani katika jamii yoyote. Kwa hivyo tunataka tu ndugu yangu Eric Omondi, kama kuna project ulikuwa unatazamia kuletea watu ya hapo, kama ilikuwa ni kwa harambee, kama ilikuwa ni kwa pesa yako, tafadhali kuja anzisha project yako. Wacha kubandisha project juu ya ingine. Ile wewe ulikuwa unaweka mabati, hiyo ni ya professionals ya hapo. Ndio walifanya hiyo darasa wakiongoja mpango yao wenyewe. Kwa hivyo tungekuomba tu kwa heshima, kuja tu uanze project yako polepole umalizie, lakini si kuweka kubandika juu ya ingine. Kwa hivyo ni hayo tu, na Mungu awabariki.
The only question I can ask this Turkana Council of Elders: where were you when these children were walking barefoot to school? Where were you when they were learning under the hot, scorching sun? Where were you when they were using the ground as books? Where were you, Turkana Council of Elders? What action did you take to help these young children? In Mumias East, Honorable Peter Selassie, he went to visit the schools that he has built and actually renovated. Take a look.
Watoto kweli? Naona sasa tumeraise, alafu tumeweka tarazo, sasa tunatengeneza blackboard ya mwalimu. Si mko sawa? Sasa msome na msikize mwalimu, si ndio? Thank you so much. So we do. Thank you so much. Oh, habari zenu. So we are supposed to build
South African first president who served from 1994 to 1999, Nelson Mandela, he said that education is the most powerful weapon that you can use to change the world. Recently, Kenya has been experiencing space debris falling from the sky. In Moyale, the residents were shocked to witness an anomaly in the dark night. Others were saying that it was an UFO, an identified flying object. Others were saying that it was an UAP, an identified aerial phenomena. My question is this: will extraterrestrial beings visit Earth soon? Take a look.
Mom! Toka nje! Ili shoot hapana ni satellite. Debris. Isa ndio kuchukua gola. Isa ni mira tinjiga chini. Record. Whoa! Ini UFO ama ni nini? UFO inaenda. UFO.
Apart from the extraterrestrial beings visiting Earth in Moyale, in Boni East Makueni, the people were shocked there to witness a partially burnt, high-density metallic object falling from the sky with a thunderstorm-like sound. Just listen to this story.
Kitu saa 9 hivi nikasikia kitu kinagonga, kinapiga bomu. Nilistuka, nikaangalia kwa huko mbinguni kama inaona moshi, nikakosa moshi. Kama nitaona pumbe, nikakosa pumbe.
tukaanza kuona tuko kwa mawingu, vitu ikiondoka, tutoko. Tukikifuata tunaona kitu kikubwa sana. Ni kiko moto, huwezi kusika hivi na mikono.
The owner of this home believes that the fall impact of the object a few meters from here is what caused the crack that we've seen in this building and in some of the other buildings in this location and in the vicinity. She says she doesn't feel very safe here in her home at the moment. Now, that correlation is something the BBC was not able to substantiate.
My question is this, Kenyans. If this space debris falling from the sky pose danger, cause harm, and even worse, loss of lives and damage of property, who will be there to repay? And what is the Kenya Space Agency saying about all these incidences?
UFO ama ni UFO inaenda.
President Ruto's son, George Ruto, was on the spotlight after his matatus manifest were caught live on camera breaking traffic rules. Take a look at some of this video of these matatus misbehaving on the Kenyan roads. After all this misbehavior on the Kenyan roads, George Ruto's matatus was seized by the NTSA, that is the National Transport and Safety Authority. A traffic police officer was also seen telling passengers who already boarded the matatu manifest to come down. Do you remember when the President of Kenya, William Ruto, said that parents should discipline their children, but yet his own son, George Ruto, is not respecting simple traffic rules? Listen to what the video at 254.
We have been reminded once again by Kasongo that we must take care of our children. The government will do its part, churches should do their part, and then parents should also do their part and mentor their children. While he's saying that, his son's vehicles manifest. They have been impounded for breaking the rules, being unruly on Kenyan roads. Talk about good mentorship. Okay, that's good mentorship. Very funny.
Even one matatu tout by the name of Freddy Psycho, he came out with this full chest and said that any traffic police officer who is trying to stop manifest will lose his or her job. That manifest belongs to the government. Just listen to this nonsense.
Itafanya makarao wengi wapewe transfer. Kishapo itafanya Nairobi alicheka. Juu yenyewe kama citizen nimewaambia hii ni ya mkubwa. Na mko na gati ya kuweka cruiser mbele yake. Mna expect nini nyingine? Hii gari kitupa ambao inatafuta do, mtaenda tu home. Huko bali nimetoka Nairobi imewashinda.
So Freddy Psycho, whether those matatus belongs to the government or not, or whether they belong to George Ruto, who is the president's son, or not, traffic rules should and must be followed. Recently, a female chief in Nairobi decided to unite Kenyans after she recorded herself playing with her forbidden fruit. Like, instead of her respecting the uniform and working for the people, she's busy entertaining Kenyans online.
We are not cooling down any soon. In fact, it might get hotter.
Wewe bana oi, weka supu. Weka supu hapo. Weka supu bana oi. Weka supu, weka supu. Weka nyama hapa juu. Weka nyama. Hapa nje hivi. Acha hiyo bado juu.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
We are coming for you.
From corruption caught on camera
ni kusimama pale na kuokota pesa the whole year
to criminals arrested.
Hebu squat hapo.
Will police wear body cameras?
We are working on introducing what has worked in other jurisdictions for the police, what we are calling the body cameras.
Racism in Kenya.
But apparently some of them, they just want white people. Is that not crazy? That is so wrong.
Parliament, we are coming. We are coming for you. We are coming for you.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to ShowNewTrend. I'm also today and my name is Elvis Derry. Corruption. Kenyans, are you tired of hearing this word, corruption? For how long will you keep on hearing about corruption scandals in our country? Some police officers, they were caught live on camera taking bribes in broad daylight at Manyanja Road. Let's take a look.
So, make me understand. So, for matatus to operate in this city, lazima wape polisi pesa. Like, lazima tu. Like, it's legal. It's part of our constitution. What is it? Like, when did we normalize this? This is Manyanja Road. The only thing kitu wenye polisi wamekuwa kifanya the whole year ni kusimama pale na kuokota pesa the whole year, especially forward travelers. Akia nani yezi pita hapo kama itapeana pesa? Ama kuna afisi zenye ni polisi huokota za matatu na hatujui, ama like when did we get to a point that tuko like corruption ya traffic hatuwezani nayo tuikubali, because fighting it is a little bit kidogo ni tricky. We might as well proceed and be a corrupt country. Like, this is a representation of Kenyan traffic police. This is them at work collecting money from matatus. Na ni ukweli serikali iko na mkono mrefu. You see the way they are stretching their hands kwa hizo matatu. Yani ni biashara inaisha ya mbio mbio, yani haraka haraka tu mnanipea mkienda. Yo. Kenya.
Even though we have corrupt officers in our country, we still have officers out there, men and women in blue, who are doing the right thing, serving the Kenyan people with integrity, pure heart and respect. Like Afare Deno, he's not tarnishing the police force image, but he's actually doing the right thing. He found a family stuck outside at night, and he decided to help them unconditionally. Just take a look at this video and see how things unfolded.
Shida ni nini madam? Ako mavitu jo. Ako mavitu na sisi tumpeleke tukejani. Ni mama kwangu lakini amekata maji. Sisi mpaka mtelezi huyu. Ukopoka nono mtoi. Mimi si yeye. Wewe amekata maji mpaka hatiwezi tembea. Mpaka namuuliza nani alimleta. Zange zimekana shi. Leo mlikuwa sherehe? Yeye mwenyewe ndo amejipeleka sherehe kivyake. Ndio ufikishe inja. Ndio utanipata sasa. Ndio. Kisha kwenye tumetumishi kwa wote. Siku zote afande deni. Afande ni deni sio? Kama kawa siku zote zote.
As we fight corruption in our own country, we are also fighting crime among our own people. Police officers from Mudangari police station have arrested 22 goons, criminals, allegedly hired from Gachie to invade land owned by the Teleposta pension scheme on Kingara Road in Lavington. Let's take a look at how things unfolded.
Scott, kila mtu anashuka kiskoti.
Huyu group.
Huyu ni maganga.
Hebu Scott. Scott hapo. Yule jamaa ni wewe.
Huyu ni yangu, huyu ni wetu.
Scott hapo.
Wewe hizo vitu vingine toka, wewe tokeni hizo matalimbo zenyu na hizo vitu zenyu za kazi. Wewe ingia uchukue hizo vitu zenyu.
Chukua hizo taripo. Sasa kaida tumezie kesa maneno mengine yenye hakuna.
Tafuta unga wapi? Tafuta unga, tunataka tu, mimi nataka mniambie huyo mnini. Huyo ndo nataka tu.
These criminals, they stormed the property at 6 a.m. They chased away the guards, looted valuables, and also they went on to dismantle the fence that was erected by the pension scheme. And later on, they loaded those stolen materials, those looted goods, onto their hired counter.
Hawa ndio wakora wanaiba usiku.
Thanks to our police officers, these criminals have been arrested. They have been removed from our streets, and they are currently held at Mudangari police station waiting to be arraigned in court on Friday. A comrade by the name of Kevin Ochieng Ogola, also a student leader at the Catholic University of East Africa, he went all the way to Milimani law courts, and he courageously, without fear of contradiction, he injected and he asked the judiciary to suspend the new funding model. Just listen to what our comrade had to say.
Thank you very much. My name is Kevin Ochieng Ogola. I am a student leader from the Catholic University of Eastern Africa, and today I would like to stand in solidarity with all fellow comrades in the city and the suburbs of Kenya that we reject the new funding model in totality because we were not consulted, number one. Number two, we do not know where the country is taking us to. I don't know, if you don't take the academic of the youths seriously, then the future of this country is in danger. Today, I will proudly say that we the students are suffering a lot. From the NHIF scandal to all those kind of scandals were done and all that. Today they are coming to destroy the only hope that we have, and that's academic, because Nelson Mandela said that education is the only powerful weapon that we can use to change the world. And Babu Owino also said that education is the only equalizer. Today we will also say as comrades, education is the only thing we have, and if anything should be touched, let it not be education, and with request that let us be respected and justice to be given to the fellow comrades. Thank you.
Do you think it's high time that our police officers should start wearing body cams, just like countries like in the US? And do you think that this will be effective in fighting corruption in this country? Take a look at this.
We are working on introducing what has worked in other jurisdictions for the police what we are calling the body cameras. And in other jurisdictions, you find with the introduction of these body cameras, in most cases, you end up with a situation where actually the culprits are actually not even the police. Now, this is going to give us a very good opportunity where we are able to play out what is even the level of interaction. What has this person said or discussed with the police even before someone is charged, or either there is an assault or someone has been arrested. And for me, this is something that is going to be a big game changer, not just in helping us fight or curb corruption, but also to deal with other criminal elements or aspects of what we see on a day-to-day basis, particularly where the police are accused of not being good enforcers of law and order.
We are currently going through a lot as a country, but I was shocked to find out that there's also racism that is taking place in our own country. A Kenyan content creator by the name of Miss Trudy, she went to Coasts, and she was shocked to find out that some resorts in Coasts are not allowing black people. Just listen to this.
Everyone wants to talk about it. Everyone is shy, but you know me, so I have to talk about it. Apparently, I'm being told that here in the coast, some of these resorts are biased, so they don't allow black people to come in. And white people are allowed to come in. They just want, like this guy is saying, they went to the resort, but he doesn't want to be on camera, but these are his hands. He's saying that they went to a resort and then they refused to let them in because they are black. And then the people behind them were white. They let the white people go in, and then the black people were told not to go. And I'm like, what? That's ridiculous. This is our country. You can't do that to us in our country. But some of these resorts have policies. Like this resort here, I guess it's just their policy that people who go to the beach are people who live in the resort. But apparently some of them, they just want white people. Is that not crazy? That is so wrong. Have you ever had such an experience before? Please drop a comment and let us know.
We cannot accept this in our own country, in our own motherland. Those resorts, they deserve greetings. We want to know all the names of those resorts that are practicing racism in our own country.
I'm being told that here in the coast, some of these resorts are biased, so they don't allow black people to come in.
Do you think that some people should be deplatformed? Those fake activists who they are portraying themselves as fighting for Kenyans, fighting for this country, and being on the Kenyan side, at the same time, they are cooperating with corrupt individuals in the government. Just listen to this.
Okay, so I have an issue with a certain group of accounts, especially on Twitter. Okay, there's this group of accounts that became really popular during the protests, or more specifically during the June protests. Okay, and basically they became popular on the platform of advocating for justice and freedom. Okay, and for justice and freedom for all the people that had been murdered, and obviously whatever follows after that. Okay, so you find that most of these accounts, they go to a point now, they're now selling out their platforms to whitewash some funny politicians. Okay, not necessarily just the new accounts, there are even old accounts that are constantly, because if you'll notice that they, especially about this Murang'a Governor Kang'ata, man, accounts are online saying, oh, sijui he's built at sijui tarmac, sijui a dispensary. And the reason they are so irritating, I don't mind you getting your bread, but when you get your bread, declare that you're getting your bread. Okay, because we already said we are done with the whole political class. Okay, you can't be on one tweet you're saying, oh, these politicians are criminal, then on the next week you're saying, oh, this one is working because he has put 200 meters of tarmac and opened a dispensary with 3 maramojas. As in, what the fuck? Are you serious?
The former Minister of Agriculture, Kipruto Rono Arap Kirwa, he went on and shocked Kenyans and shocked the world after he came out and said that Kenya is now in a good state because we have identified the culprit behind the demise of many government institutions. And he went on and said that the president of Kenya, He's a pathological liar. He's a dictator, micromanager, and also short-tempered. Just listen to this.
Lie less. Lie less. Because the more you lie, the more you are hated.
Why can't you tell him stop lying instead of saying lie less?
Because the guy is a habitual liar. And when somebody is a pathological liar, you cannot stop him. So lie less. Number two, we are happy he has been identified the way we have always known him. But the mistake I made even 3 years ago, going back to work with him, is because I thought he's now mature. He has interacted with many institutions, including getting to the level of deputy president. And for the first few months, we worked very well. Until I realized this guy will never stop lying. Then I walked away. Today I've been vindicated that he's a liar, micromanager, a dictator, short on temper. You realize the other day he was abusing his voters, that they are stupid. Yes, they could be stupid because they voted for him. He was saying they are evil. They could be evil because they voted evil into power. Saying, yes, they may be, was it Fepo Mbaya? Chafu. It was not Mbaya, Chafu. Yes, they could have that Fepo because he is the owner of exuding the power to influence society. So he has influenced us until we are also Pepo Chafu, kama yeye.
Are you also faceless anarchists? Because in June they were profiled as faceless anarchists.
Well, I don't know whether they were faceless or they were not able to decipher that this was anger emanating from inside.
Kenyans, the government cannot have anti-people policies and expect Kenyans to be quiet. Expect me, Elvis Derry, to be quiet. The government should be able to handle criticism without arresting the criticizer or even abducting the criticizer. Being a critic is not a crime. Being a critic is part of being a patriot in a country. Just listen to this.
Wanasiasa wa Kenya wamekuwa throw tantrums about being criticized, especially online. I want to say this. Kukuwa mzalendo, a big part of being a patriot is being an objective critic. Mwaka 1983, Chinua Achebe alikuwa ameandika essay refu sana inaitwa The Trouble with Nigeria. And I encourage everyone, tafadhali, tafuta hiyo essay uisome. Kuna mali Achebe anaongelea mambo ya patriotism and he says a lot. But one of the things that stands out is this. He says, patriotism is an emotion of love directed by a critical intelligence. A true patriot will always demand the highest standards of his country and accept nothing but the best for and from his people. Alafu Achebe anaendelea anasema hivi, true patriotism is possible only when the people who rule and those under their power have a common and genuine goal of maintaining the dispensation under which the nation lives. Anaendelea anasema hivi, sikizeni vizuri. This will in turn only happen if the nation is ruled justly, if the welfare of all the people rather than the advantages of the few becomes the cornerstone of public policy. Wewe jiulize, public policies za Kenya inafaidi nani? Wachache wenye nchi ama wengi wananchi? Hawana siasa wenye wanatishia wa Kenya, wenye wanasema wa Kenya sio wazalendo. They are so out of touch with reality. Hawana self-awareness. Wezi expect wa Kenya wakupigie makofi, wajifunge macho, wajifanya nika kila kitu iko sawa. Nasikia moja akisema Kenya inasonga mbele. Kenya gani hiyo inasonga mbele boss? Na wananchi wako njaa. Madaktari wanajimada juu ya kutolipwa. Hakuna usalama, hakuna kazi. Wakenya wanauzwa Uarabuni kama wanyama. And you expect people to be silent and sing your praises and clap for you.
In that case, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Kenyans and my fellow Gen Zs, we will not and we will never stop injecting. We will never stop fighting for good governance, good leadership, and a good and better future for this country. And can you, even your politician that you voted for, can they do this? Take a look at this video.
My people, just look at how beautiful this place is. And this is Ruiru. This is not Europe. Look at how amazing this is. Angalia miti. Trees are planted in a straight line. Aha. Walkway. Ndio hiyo, pedestrians walk here. Very nice. Kuja hapa. Drainage. Very, very nice. Songa pale. Look at the road. Very well marked. Center line yellow, white. It's nice, man. Like when you come here to walk, you feel good. You feel like, yeah, this is the life I should be living, you know? There's no hustle, there's no worry. You're not worried about mtu atakupiga ngeta, ama sijui mtu atakugonga, ama ni no, you just walk. Listen to your music, you know, enjoy life, man. And this is what everyone in Kenya should live, you know? Mwenye alitengeneza hii barabara anafaa kupigiwa kayamba. This is what we want in this country. Proper maintenance is done, I think, weekly or after 3 days, I'm not sure. So please, let us create a good life in Kenya. So we don't have to go to Europe to see organized things. Because at the end of the day, we all deserve.
Let me take you guys all the way to Uganda, where a mysterious illness, locally known as Dinga Dinga in Uganda, has affected young women and girls, leaving them shaking and dancing uncontrollably. But this illness can also be treated using antibiotics. Let's take a look at how these young women and girls were affected.
You are recovering. It has just started. Hey, when it wasn't. Hey, I'll tell you what's on it.
But up your even the eating whatever is good, the appetite.
So Kenyans, if you are asked today, which current politician in Kenya that you don't like, who will you say? Listen to this.
Bro, ni politician gani wanakubo? Politicians. Mwenye ni bo. Kenya ma? Hapa Kenya politician. Oscar Sudi. Kwa nini? Oscar Sudi kujigamba na saya 1 million na watoto wako children's home badala peleke pesa wakule children's home. Sipendi Oscar Sudi, simpendi. Mwambie kitu. Politician mimi utukia. Mwambie kitu. Oscar Sudi, ungekuwa unaringa na wewe ni mweupe sawa. Ungekuwa unaringa na wewe ni light skin sawa. Oscar Sudi wewe na makani kitu. Na unaringa wewe ni nani? Wewe ni masufuria na mapekele na mavijiko, change your mind.
Came as a guest, we gave you the best, somewhere to rest, but now you're moving against us, you're making a mess. You gotta address this mess in front of the press. Ni wapi ulipeleka pesa? We did the inspection, we seen you got a collection, we seen you building a mansion 2 months after the election. Whoa, you doubled your net worth, you must have been doing your best work. Got billionaires in your network and the youth can't even get work. We gotta watch you, we gotta watch you, we gotta watch you, we gotta watch you. Si walisema mambo ya Rivayala waliwacha, hesabu wangapi wajapatikana tangu walinaswa.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye bye.
Parliament, we are coming for you, we are coming for you.
The problem is not the citizens of Kenya. The problem is the leadership.
From Raila Odinga losing African Union chairmanship seat,
Excellency Mahmoud Ali Yusuf from Djibouti, 33.
to Deputy President Kithure Kindiki chased away. Did Raila Odinga betray the Gen Zs?
Wajira, do you feel betrayed?
Yeah, absolutely. We were not on the streets for ODM to get positions. We were on the streets to get good governance in this country.
Member of Parliament Peter Salasa celebrates Raila's downfall.
Ali ndio mwenye kiti mpya wa ANC gani? Sasa ona.
Anguka na.
They're coming for you.
Ndio mjue kuna mtu aliiba nyota ya baba. Baba anashindwa mpaka kwa city inaitanishwa na yeye. Hadis ya baba.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to ShowNewTrend. I'm host of today and my name is Elvis Deri. The former Prime Minister of Kenya, Raila Amolo Odinga, he was running for the African Union Commission chairmanship, but he lost. And Djibouti's Mohamed Ali Yusuf was declared the winner. Take a look.
Excellency Mahmoud Ali Yusuf from Djibouti, 33.
After Mohamed Ali Yusuf winning the African Union Commission chairmanship, he went on to say that they had more power, more money, more big friends, but we defeated them because of God. And he delivered this speech in Djibouti.
ومعجزتي مدحوينه الشيغي علبا نغا هوريي نغا عود بدن نغا مال بدن نغا دد بدن نغا محان كداهي واحد دونتين راعيه هدنا الهي بايري محمود علي يوسف با غوليسن.
After Raila Odinga losing the African Union Commission chairmanship, it sent shockwaves in Kenya and around Africa. And a Kenyan politician by the name of Peter Salasa, he could not hold his tongue, and this is what he had to say.
Mambo imeenda aje? Amepita. Ama bara amepita. Mohamed Yusuf Ali ndio mwenye kiti mpya wa ANC gani? Sasa ona hii maneno hii. Unajua tamaa ni kitu mbaya sana. Kama baba angetulia tu, aache huyu jamaa afanye tu all blunders zake zote. Pesa yenye baba mpana ni mingi. Yenye angesema tu mimi hata sina haja na pesa. Jamaa wanamcheza. Because mimi nilisema jana ya kwamba uliona wale wasadik walitoa position. Mimi ni member wa committee nyingine inaitwa Regional Integration. And mimi naelewa maneno ya integration. Ya kwamba kama sisi EACC iko under sisi, angekuwa ameanza na hawa EACC yani East African Community ambayo Djibouti is not a member. A convince Uganda, Kenya na hizi ambiane nasema na tuandike statement because huyo ndio mwenye akukatika eneo letu peke yake.
So if you ask yourselves, why did Raila Amolo Odinga lose the African Union Commission chairmanship? What would you say? Listen to this.
Why did we lose? Why did Baba lose? And she told me that Kenya does not have a very good name out there. And it's not because we are bad people. People think of us as being, this was her exact answer, that there was once there was an election going on at the Pan-African level, and Kenya had presented a candidate, and when they were campaigning, she told me someone from Morocco just came and told her, you know what, you guys are not going to win, and she asked why. She was told, you people are too loud and obnoxious.
Despite the former Prime Minister of Kenya, Raila Amolo Odinga, losing the African Union Commission chairmanship, Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni showed his support towards Raila, and this is what he said.
There was a young man from Djibouti, he came. The young man I normally see him that he's a minister. He came and told me that he was the one who was the candidate for